Welcome to another live stream. Pierce couldn't make it. We're gonna be looking at Torishima over here. Okay. Um, just gotta make sure the internet won't go out all of a sudden. Did my best to make sure that it doesn't happen again. But let me just wait a couple of minutes to confirm that it'll be fine. But anyway, what is a tab here? Oh, and a bunch of you sent me a video of White Wonga showing the trailer of the new Saturday AM video game. I'm not gonna lie, it looks cool. The game looks cool at a mechanical level, at an aesthetic level, at an appeal level. Everything just looks cool. So we're gonna look at that as well. I'll give credit to where credit is due. Honestly, the game does look cool, but there's always a but. But there's gonna be a problem. You know, it's not the game that's the problem. It's everything within the game, the characters, the story, the so on, and blah blah blah. But yeah, we'll check it out now. PB Tim, isn't this Akira Toriyama's old editor? Yes, it is. Yes, it is, man. That's who we're talking about today. I always talk about this guy all the time. I bought his book. His book is fantastic. If you don't have it, I don't know why. It is the ultimate reference book if you really want to succeed in Japan. It is the ultimate reference guide, right? So there's a lot here that you can learn, right? There's a lot that you can learn. I've been going through it on Coffee Ultimate, but I'm gonna wrap it up soon as to, ultimately this is what the book's about. So I recommend y'all get this thing if you want to take this manga thing serious, but in Japan, right? If you want to go the whole route, you're gonna have to get this book, right? If you want to go through the MANAA route, well, you take all the good points and of course put it where it is applicable in how we are going to build up the MANAA space and so on. But anyway, let me get into it. So recently, Torishima has been trending for a bunch of reasons. He called out the executive producer of Dragon Ball Super, and he said he's the leader of a secret society who's never drawn anything or written a single story, which is why Dragon Ball Super is a catastrophe. The movies, except for Broly, is all right, but it's been a disaster, right? And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. A lot of people are out here butthurt that Torishima's tone and his bluntness, it hurts people's feelings, which is retarded, pathetic, and childish. This is a grown man, and most people who are complaining about his very tone are grown men also. But we're in a society right now where a lot of people are still in mama's basement, drinking mama's milk and cookies, right? They just can't handle any salt whatsoever. They've never had their ass beat by their father. Mama never slapped them. Instead, they're like, oh, poor Timmy. Here's a cookie for every wrongdoing that he has done, right? Instead of being corrected, he was rewarded. And the internet is filled with pieces of trash who have been rewarded for being garbage people in general, right? So, recently, when did he say this? It was yesterday. So, he's like, this is his official Twitter, and I just found it like moments ago. I'm like, oh, what do you know? He has a Twitter. Great. So anyway, he asked the question, where are these guys even looking at? Who's the main focus? Images without intent lack impact. Oh my goodness. Toyo, referring to Toyotaro, the illustrator of Dragon Ball Super right now, keep pushing with the manga. Ouch. You know, ouch. Now, he wants to say a lot more. He has said a lot more, you know, that Toyotaro does not understand the fundamentals of manga, basically. And people can come against Torishima and say, well, you're just an editor. What do you know? He's a veteran editor. Without him, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball wouldn't exist. And all of that is revealed in this book right here. In the last couple of pages of the book, there is an interview, a long one, between Torishima and Toriyama as well. See, ultimate interview. This thing is so in depth, right? So in depth. Get the book for yourself. Toriyama here admits that, hey, you know, without Torishima at all, I'd pretty much be lost. We wouldn't have what we have right now, and so on. And this is the essence of the book, that an editor's job is to serve as like a producer and a collaborative partner on a project, right? So a lot of dumb mother effers who are misinformed over here, who don't know how manga's produced, who've never written anything themselves, who've never drawn anything themselves, they always have something to say. So I'll be the first to say it. I've been saying it. If you have not drawn one volume, shut the fuck up. If you have not written one volume, shut the fuck up. If you have not sold one volume, shut the fuck up. You don't qualify to spew your toxic opinion. You have no experience in this game. Now, people won't be like, well, you haven't written anything. Nigga, please. I got 3 books, 4th one coming in end of February. That's right. I fixed my schedule. I'm on point. I'm back on track 100%. I just finished doing storyboards for chapter 29 and 30. So now I finally got my mojo back. Nobody's stopping me now. Book 4 coming at the end of February, probably around February 25th, right? I ain't playing no games. So I know what I'm talking about. I see the theory and I practice the practical, right? Unlike a lot of these mother suckers who are butthurt about what Torishima is saying. Again, if you have not written anything before, shut the fuck up. If you have not drawn anything before, please shut the fuck up, okay? So, let's look at the image itself, because this came out like months ago. So here it is on Pinterest, and if we go by what Torishima is saying, the first question is, where are these guys even looking at? That's a very good question. You see, a lot of hunchbacks on the internet, they just see the crazy hair and the bright saturated colors and they go crazy. This is an example of a brain dead, vegetable minded hunchback, right? Where you just have to be, you just get excited by just seeing the basics, the surface level of things, and that's enough for you, right? You're not even questioning, okay, what am I looking at? A hunchback will see Goku and Gohan and some of the Z fighters here and be like, oh, awesome, oh, fire, bro, oh, excellent, oh, you know, it's like, dude, what are we even looking at? What are they even doing? You see, Torishima might not be a real artist in terms of he draws himself, but he understands the mechanics of actually producing art, right? He understands that, look, if you're gonna create an artwork, it has to be what? Intentional. It has to be intentional. So what the hell's the intention here? Some can say, well, bro, it's just for the sake of marketing. Well, that's not good enough, right? It's good enough for those who are vegetable minded, but to those who respect art and themselves, right? It's not good enough. The first time I saw this thing, it looked profoundly nasty to me. It looked nasty because, number one, of course, I don't like Dragon Ball Super, but the absolute ridiculousness of these new forms is just so off-putting. But let's go along with what Torishima was asking. Where or what are they even looking at? Well, if we zoom in real quick, Goku is not looking at the camera. He's looking at something, right? He's not looking at the camera. Vegeta is looking at the camera. Gohan seems to be looking at whatever Goku's looking at. Piccolo seems to be looking at Goku's arm. And Broly seems to actually be minding his own business, right? It's rather weird. It's rather weird, I ain't gonna lie. So Torishima does have a point. Again, people can say, no, it's just a marketing picture, bro. And I'm saying that it's got to be intentional regardless. You see, this is what you call slop. You can create marketing with actual art. You know that, right? You can. So when you just do something random like this, let the characters be walking towards what? You know, what are they looking at? What is the intention? Again, the Hunchback will say the intention is for marketing. And I am saying you can create marketing with something intentional with the actual image itself. This is what you call slop. This is the epitome of slop and is completely unacceptable. The other thing he said was, who's the main focus? Right? Others can say it's all of them. No, honestly, bro, who is the main focus? Who is the main character of Dragon Ball Super right now? Who is it? What's the story even about at this point? I mean, I've caught up, but it doesn't make any sense. There's no direction. There's no direction, and so it lacks intent, right? It's no longer intentional, thus removing impact. You see? So we don't know what Dragon Ball Super is even about. We just have all kinds of saturated new forms and colors, and these forms are still not good enough to destroy Beerus. But Beerus is not actually the enemy. Who is the main enemy? Why are they getting stronger? For what reason? Oh, they're just getting stronger because they say they like to get stronger. Well, there needs to be more of an intention than to just get stronger for the sake of it, right? Now, in the book over here, Torishima mentioned that before Goku became the Goku we know, he had no direction. He had no direction at all. And it was Torishima's idea right here that Goku should have a new goal, an intentional goal. Because what he is currently is just a passive boy going on an adventure collecting Dragon Balls. But what does he actually want? What does he actually stand for? That was the key. And so the idea that Goku says, I want to be strong so I can fight powerful enemies. Okay. And now, does Goku still want that? Does he want to be strong to fight powerful enemies? We've kind of lost that that version of him. Not only did he become mentally handicapped, but we've honestly lost Goku's intention as a character. We've lost it completely, right? Gohan achieving his Super Saiyan Beast form is absolute bullcrap. It makes no sense. He didn't earn it. He fought Goku in Ultra Instinct and he landed a punch on him. It didn't make any sense. How? Why? What in the world? You know, it's an ass pull. It's just garbage. It's unacceptable, right? So Torishima should actually rip this thing in half even more. So anyway, I think this part, him saying keep pushing with the manga, I think it's him kind of like letting him know that, hey man, I think you should come through to my studio so I can give you some lessons type thing. I don't think he's actually promoting the fact that this garbage should continue as it is. I don't think he's doing that. Toyotaro should take the hint that he needs to go back to school under Torishima and figure out what the hell needs to be done. This mass confusion taking place in the manga space in Japan, and not just in the manga space alone, but on the entire planet. Like, everybody's confused. First, it started with people not knowing if they're female or a man, you know. Then it continued to women not knowing what women are, and then, you know, kids saying they think they should cut off their bits, and on and on it went, to the point where now people don't know how things should be managed, handled, shared, communicated. It's just a freak show right now. Everything is a freak show. The foundations have been shook, broken, destroyed, dismantled, you name it. And then some of us who still have a anchor to the old way of doing things that is objectively functional, you know, we are demonized. You know, Torishima is demonized, I'm demonized, and anybody else that actually has an anchor, we are demonized, because these modern mother suckers today want to be a bunch of space niggas floating throughout the cosmos, unanchored to anything, just bumping heads on one asteroid to the next and floating for eons and hoping to encounter dopamine along the way. And many get sucked into a black hole, some get burnt to ashes when they drift too close to the sun, and others freeze to death when they fall into Pluto, right? And I'm not one of those people. And coffee comics, coffee originals, everybody within the coffee umbrella, you're not supposed to be one of those people. You're not supposed to be a space nigga, right? I do not accept hanging out with space niggas in my circle. You have to be intentional. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know who you're selling to, right? So let's check some of the comments here real quick. What the Japanese guys are saying about this. Let me just first read these comments on YouTube. Merry Christmas, Rookie. Is the book on Amazon? Yes. Did this live just start? Well, Olaf, yeah, bro. I mean, you can tell if it just started, man. It says so over there, you know. I think the problem with a lot of people who are in the indie space want editors, but they want editors who aren't going to be harsh towards them about their work and point out all the mistakes. Yeah, it's a damn shame. Like, they want compliments, bro. They want the milk and cookies. I've been saying this. They want an editor who's gonna rub their chest with Vaseline, bro, and say you can do no wrong. You're wonderful. You know, here's more cookies, bro. Here's a box of gooey bears. Nah, man, absolutely not. Like, that's why the title of this live stream is Torishima wasting his time? Because if the modern folks, right, this new generation, are so baked in the head and prefer to be rubbed on their chest for all the garbage that they do, they refuse to be corrected. They refuse to learn. They refuse to even analyze what you're saying. You know, they are so full of themselves and full of falsehoods in which they can hear a portion of what you're saying and maybe can be attracted to the energy and how you're saying it, but ultimately the core of what you're saying is always ignored. And it's like, nigga, you ain't gonna fix anything or improve if you're gonna be so high-minded in your own delusions type thing, you know? So is Torishima wasting his time? Well, Toyotaro seems to be baked in the head at this point. So if he's actually trying to coach Toyotaro, yeah, I think he is wasting his time. Let me decrease the volume here. I think he is wasting his time. Piccolo being orange really doesn't sit right with me. You do have to respect him though for caring enough to give his advice to the franchise. Of course. Writing that book was essential. So this guy says, yeah, he's someone who walked hand in hand with Toriyama after all. Mr. Toriyama is just so incredible. And this guy is the only one who could really give Toriyama his honest opinion, right? It's criticism coming from a place of love. Got to be. Toyotaro's one lucky guy to get that kind of feedback. Well, I agree with this. You know, he is, but does Toyotaro feel the same way? Does Toyotaro respect the fact that his master Toriyama was under Torishima? So it doesn't look like he respects it at all. It doesn't look like he even cares. Let's see. What does this one say? Thank you, Torishima-san. These days, nobody dares to speak the truth about the enormous decline Dragon Ball is experiencing, nor how incredibly amateurish Toyotaru still is. Despite having drawn the Dragon Ball Super manga for a decade, please keep telling your statements of pure truth. Now that is a wonderful, wonderful comment right there. I bet you the people who responded are going to rip him apart. But ultimately, he's so right about the amateurish nature of Dragon Ball Super. Very much so. It's a true regression to what was. I would say Toriyama peaked artistically in the Cell Saga, and when he got to the Majin Buu Saga, it looks like he didn't care. I mean, he's mentioned that he didn't care anymore either, so that's the problem. Let's see what people say here. You realize that Torishima barely likes anything, right? Oh, for fuck's sakes, man. He's joking, obviously. What? What? Do you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? These dumb mother effers think Torishima is joking. Oh my goodness, bro. This, I repeat this. Torishima is wasting his time. He's wasting his time. The guy wrote the book. It's fantastic. It will tell you everything, but we all know mother effers ain't gonna read the book. They ain't gonna read the book. Oh, I want to be a manga artist. Read the fucking book then. Read the book. But no, they won't read the book, right? They're going to keep extrapolating things from deep inside of their crack instead from proven formulas that worked and actually revolutionized everything. Come on, bro. Look at the pride and confidence in this retard calling this guy a retard. He's obviously joking, you retard. What? This is insane, bro, man. It's also predictable at this point. Let's see. What is this Japanese guy saying? This is probably based on that, and since everyone in the replies has come from watching Mr. Torishima's Toriyama's Dragon Ball, that's why they're saying this, but even Toriyama got rejected over and over. Lowly readers like us shouldn't complain, you know. Man, what the hell? Yeah, you a lowly reader. Some of us are not lowly readers. See, this is more visible here. Goku looking at the screen, Vegeta looking at looking at the camera, Gohan looking at the camera. It's only Piccolo where he's still looking at the ground. But this indeed seems intentional, right? Just by the mere fact that the characters are looking in one direction, most of them, except for Piccolo. You can tell over there that, Yeah, I would say that's also actually also rather bad. You know, it's rather bad. But either way, it is more clear than this one. At least in terms of where the characters are looking at, it is more clear. But ultimately, I suppose it's uh, still rather iffy. Let's see, what does this guy say? It's not Dragon Ball, but Toyotaro's battle manga, right? I think the drawing skills and stuff like that are wonderful, but when I saw this picture, I thought it's no longer Dragon Ball, and it would be better if Toyotaro drew his own original work. Agreed. Personally, rather than keep trying hard, it's don't rely on Dragon Ball. Nice. It's time to move on, Toyotaro. Just leave Dragon Ball alone. I mean, he made Dragon Ball AF, which was fantastic, a nice continuation of Dragon Ball GT. But Toriyama said, nigga, you better stop that. And unfortunately, he did. The more a picture is just beautifully drawn in a showy way, the less interesting it becomes. I think it's about what scene to depict and how to captivate whom. This one, for example, is incredibly skillful. Indeed, it is. In other words, substance over flashiness. That's what you're saying. This guy says, thank you for your help in making Dragon Ball what it is, but you don't understand. What? But you don't understand anything you're talking about, and you know it. What? You never knew. You just followed the voices of the moment. That was your contribution. Toriyama ignoring you several times was Dragon Ball Salvation. Yeah, man. Yeah. Super was a failure. Super isn't Dragon Ball Z. Who said otherwise? Do you know Dragon Ball Z is Dragon Ball, right? Can you understand? Man, I just can't, man. I just can't. What is this guy saying? Lately, the only people praising Toyotaro's recent work are AF believers, right? Hey, what do you know? The AF believers. AF is never coming back, guys. GT ain't canon, right? So, now that Toriyama is gone, Toyotaro can draw digital art at high level, but the perspective is all messed up and it's just artwork that looks skillfully done at a glance. I end up thinking that he's drawing solely for the sake of being praised and didn't learn anything from Toriyama. That is an incredible statement. He's drawing for compliments. So in other words, Toyotaro is a hunchback. Look at the world we live in now. People don't want to finish their product. They don't want to finish their work. They don't want to finish their stories. They just want to draw enough to keep getting compliments. This is disgusting, bro. This is disgusting behavior. You don't deserve any type of respect if this is your behavior. You out here just doodling so people can praise you. You a piece of trash. You're a piece of trash. Anybody who's got this behavior, you are utter disgrace. And you should just stop drawing. Like, quit. Just quit. You want to draw for compliments? For milk and cookies? To be celebrated? Look, guys, I did a new picture of Dragon Ball today. Hooray. Nah, man. Nah, get the hell up on out of here. There's this one artist who draws. I think, is it this guy? It's one of these guys. I'm sure everybody has seen him, right? But there's this one guy. Here he is. This guy's incredibly good. Incredible, right? Like, he just captures Toriyama's OG art style very well. Is he drawing for compliment's sake? Well, he's not really making a story, and he's never even hinted that he wants to make a story or fan fiction. So in his case, he knows what he's doing, and he's intentional about what he's doing. I'm just drawing pinups, guys. That's it. That's all I care about. That's all I want to do. And so be it. right? So be it. He's never claimed to be a sequential artist, and it seems like he doesn't want to be. Fine. But somebody like Toyotaru here, who has been a sequential artist through manga for decades, he seems unmotivated to keep going. Now I know with all the legal issues happening at Shueisha here, there is well, we assume there's a problem, and that's why he hasn't started drawing anything. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. The guy definitely can do something, but he just doesn't want to. And I think this Japanese guy is right. He is drawing for the sake of praise and nothing else. Let's see the response over here. Toyotaro's artwork has really evolved a lot, and even the pieces that got harsh criticism have been revised. Sure, there are still some immature aspects, but since he's someone Mr. Toriyama acknowledged isn't what fans should do, support him. No, we're not gonna support somebody who keeps crashing the boat, bro. Like, hell no. You see, this is an example of falling in love with the potential of somebody, right? Dude, if you are betting on your potential, we ain't got time for that. We do not have time for that. Just because Toriyama gave the thumbs up to Toyotaru, it don't mean nothing anymore, right? Toriyama was a hunchback himself anyway. So the person who should have chosen a successor should have been Torishima. But Toyotaru was good when he created AF. He was. It's Toriyama who butchered his brain. This guy says the people who are praising him are real and true Dragon Ball fans of Toriyama's Dragon Ball, and not fake fans like you idiots. That is, man, I can't read brain rot comments, man. It's just so demoralizing. They're looking at the audience except Piccolo because he's aura farming. There's no one specific character that is supposed to be the highlight, since this is supposed to depict the 5 strongest of them. That isn't the point. It's not the point that Torishima is trying to make. The point is, who is the main character of Dragon Ball Super? That's where he's getting at. Man, bruh. These niggas are dumb, man. I'm sorry, Mr. Torishima. These people are stupid, and they will never understand. But at least he lived his life, you know. He wrote his book, and he should be proud of himself. I definitely believe that Shonen Jump needs him. He needs to be driving the boat, steering the ship. But BlackRock ain't gonna allow that at all. BlackRock will like, nah, don't put that old man in there. He's gonna inspire people. Does modern Goku inspire anyone? Does Dragon Ball Super make anyone want to get up and do something with their lives? Does it at all? No, not at all. Because everything feels fake, unearned, and if characters like Krillin can push Goku into Super Saiyan Blue, then you know this whole thing just don't make no sense no more, bruh. All of it is just random aura farming. I suppose a homeless guy, if you just caught him at the right moment, about to light his blunt, and you took a photo, he'd look like Piccolo because he's aura farming. So we got a bunch of homeless people who got access to the internet, who are trying to derail or degrade all OG characters to be as homeless looking as they do. What a disaster, man. That's legit how niggas in the jungle behave. They will never want to elevate themselves to a higher level. Instead, they will want to drag you down to their level. It's disgusting, bro. Like, there are so many people out here who are not even aware that they are subtly dragging you down to their level, right? So I think everybody needs to be aware of that. Like, beware of your circle, your family, or whatever, because dudes out here can low key be dragging you down, and not through words per se, like nah 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 nah, you're this, you're that. Why are you doing that? Can't you just chill? Ooh, stop. Oh, you're so boring. Like at the job, the crazy woman that got locked in the asylum. Let's say I go buy myself a milkshake, right? Using that Patreon money just right. I go buy myself some milkshake for lunch. She sees me holding my cup. She's like, "You're so boring, hey." And I'm like, "Why?" Because I'm holding and drinking something you don't have. If you want a milkshake, go buy it yourself. And she'd say, "You know I don't have money." And I was like, "How's that my problem?" So I'm boring because I have money to buy a milkshake. That word boring is not in the denotative sense. Of course, she's attaching it to something more vulgar. She's trying to drag me down, trying to demonize me for being in a better position than she is. So that's through words. And then there are others through actions and indirect, passive behavior, where all of a sudden you will feel like you're the problem, right? All of a sudden you'll feel like the way you're doing things uh, might be problematic, and then you won't know what to do. You'll question yourself. You'll start doubting yourself. And man, that is just too subtle. That is too subtle. So people gotta watch out for that. They gotta watch out for that, because all these homeless mother effers on the internet right now, bro, they dragging everybody down. They dragging everybody down. You out here finishing your work, you're meeting your own deadlines, you're getting back on track, you're doing everything that you're supposed to do. Niggas gonna come and hate, try to drag you down, try to demonize you, try to call you boring, and by that they mean, oh, you're such a snob, aren't you? You're a know-it-all, aren't you? You think you're special, aren't you? Like, no, I'm just dedicated, passionate, right? Forget discipline. I've told y'all, discipline's a psyop. Forget discipline, it's dedication. It is because I need to do this that I keep doing it. There's no room for failure for some of us, but for other people, there's plenty of room for failure. That's why they don't seize the moment. Because if they miss out on an opportunity, well, things will still be fine. The lights will still be on. They won't starve to death in a couple of months. But the rest of us, if we miss out on an opportunity, starvation is guaranteed. Homelessness is guaranteed. And having my organs harvested by some crazy person is guaranteed also. Right? So nah, man, I'm tired of these homeless dudes on the internet. It's true that he said it out of spite. What? Not out of love for the work. But that doesn't matter now, because the image is indeed bad in terms of drawing and visual impact. So you agree that the drawing is bad and it lacks impact, but ultimately Torishima is just spiteful. These people belong in jail, bro. What is Cooler saying over here? I see some posts here and there comparing it to Toriyama or something like that, but I don't think Torishima is saying this based on comparing it to Toriyama. Regardless of Toriyama, I think it's purely his opinion on Toriyama. Man, if people can't distinguish between opinion and qualified criticism, I don't know anymore, man. This is why I repeat again, it's a waste of time, Torishima. Like, it's just a waste of time at this point, bro. Like, I can't anymore. Let me read the comments here. I don't think Toyotaro is ready to handle a massive legacy like Dragon Ball. Bro, he was being groomed. You'd think he would be ready. But let's face it, he ain't, and he never will be. I don't see how you get paid a healthy wage to draw manga and want BS and wanna BS it. That's crazy to me, right? I work 9 to 5 and make time to draw. I would love my 9 to 5 to be drawing manga. Don't we all, bro? Don't we all, right? You make time for the things you care about. These people out here, oh man, I don't have time. Look, man, if the job is too arduous, change the job, bro. Change the job, okay? And these days, maybe you don't want to change the job. Speaking of jobs, yeah, I've said it before like 100 times that we are going back to the dark ages. We are here. We are in the dark ages. Thanks to AI. There's a regression of everything. But next year, I'm sure there are going to be more job losses for people working in the offices and stuff, where it'll mostly be a lot of hard labor jobs, you know, being a gardener. What else is a hard labor job? Working security, I suppose, and washing cars, such jobs, really, you know, picking cotton. Those are going to be a dime a dozen, but it's going to decrease people's spending power, of course, and quality of life. And in theory, right? In theory, it should give you more time to do what you actually like doing. Like the serfs of the Dark Ages themselves. They were not plowing the fields for like 8 hours a day. No, they were not. I would say from sunrise to noon, they were plowing the field, right? From noon onwards, they were doing what they wanted to do, right? Within the rules of the land. So, if anyone is like working at, because the gardeners that I see in the area here, right? All these gardeners come in the morning, like 8 a.m., and they work until noon or like 1 p.m. And that's it. That's the end of their day. They might work in this field, that guy's house, you know. So if they got 4 houses that they gotta do a week, they all start at the same time, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. From 1 p.m. onwards, they go home and do what they gotta do. Is the income great? No, they just surviving. But I do think that is more sustainable in giving you time to do what you care about. I remember asking one gardener guy when I was down and out. He used to work in our garden. I'm like, yo, man, I want to be a gardener. Help me out. And he said, you wouldn't survive a single day. I'm like, bro, don't underestimate me, man. I've gone camping. I've slept on rocks. You know, almost fell off a cliff. I can do some damn gardening, bro. But the white man's dog is something that I don't want to deal with. He's like, well, that's one of the things you got to deal with. But don't worry, they locked the dog up. So he just didn't believe that I could be a gardener, right? I was ready to do it. I was ready to pick up trash even in the city. Because when was it? It was like 2021, 2022. I was down and out, man. I was like, hey, man, I got to get something. But if my only connection to being a gardener is gatekeeping, is like, nah, you ain't going to be a gardener. And then being a civil servant, picking up the trash for them dirty niggas, you need to pay your way in. I'm like, man, how am I going to pay to get a job, right? Because I have an uncle who works at the civic center, the civil center. It deals with city management, and he was supposed to give me a job in the building, right? That I'm going to be the janitor in the building. So the contracts were given for the year. The budget was passed for the year that here is the budget for all civil servants, people who work outside the building in the city and those who work in the building. My uncle decided to take all that money and go on vacation. And he bragged about it. And I'm like, well, what about my employment? And he said, well, you know, there's no budget for employment right now. So, but nigga, you took the budget. So, well, you know, it's not like that. I just need my vacation. So Niggas, bro. Niggas, right? But ultimately, people should just do less shifts. But I know that's easier said than done, because if you do working 8 hours at a hard labor job, you need the 8 hours, I guess, to pay your rent and all of that. So it ain't easy. It looks like the more you want to do your own thing, the more you have to sacrifice. But if people have the mindset of like, I'm not gonna sacrifice this, I'm not gonna sacrifice forever, it's gonna be temporary, well, then you have a chance, you know? And then you have a chance. If people just want to draw for compliments, they should just stick to fan art. They should. Toyotaru is a fan artist at this point, bruh. He's a straight up fan artist. That's what he is. Yeah, that's exactly what he is. Has Toyotaru ever said what plans were for DBS? No, none that I know of. 2026 will definitely be an exciting year. We got all kinds of shonen food coming out in 2026. We got the final season of Bleach. We got Siren coming out. We got that sack of garbage JJK coming, and Chain Sack Man. So it's gonna be a full packed house of shonen galore. I'm saddened to say that I think they're gonna butcher Siren though, because the animation studio, it's lacking in experience, if you ask me. I literally go to my drawing tablet and work on my webtoon every time I get home. Exactly. Right? Exactly, bro. You have to deal with all the people at the laundry and people's laundry, and then when you get home, you jump on the tablet and you get to work. There are no excuses over here. Okay, let's look at this tweet right here. Very interesting, right? Very interesting. So, this girl says, they used to be art in everything. And we see this video here, how in the old days, legit everything, a lamppost, was so embezzled with iconographies that actually meant something in the community, that connected people to the collective subconscious, and so on. And how the modern age now, a door is just a door. It's just a wooden or metal rectangle that you seal the entrance to your house with. There is nothing special about it, unique about it. There's nothing that connects you to the metaphysical about it. And the arguments against this disintegration of art in society was that it is too expensive to manufacture or to build aesthetically pleasing thingies, right? It's too expensive, and to that's obviously bullcrap, because you can mass produce something nice. You can 3D print something nice. So I don't want to hear it. You know, I don't want to hear it. It is definitely a demoralizing attempt. Not even attempt. A demoralizing, not even effort. A demoralizing achievement that has taken place here, because now nobody feels connected to anything. Everything looks like how it would look like in a prison, right? You ain't gonna find some nice art in prison, bro. Everything just looks like a giant prison or a cave. People are uninspired. They feel like prisoners, or they're in a psychiatric ward, and nothing just makes them question or wonder about anything. A lamppost is just a giant, long metal stick with lights attached to it, nothing more, versus it having a bunch of cupids on the side and whatnot. It would always make you question, you know. Instead of doom scrolling on TikTok, you would be not even doom walking, but you will be inspired walking. You'll be inspired walking down the city, seeing nice things and so on, right? Look at that. That's real nice. This guy says what I'm saying. They took away the art because it is inspiring. Inspired men think. They don't want you thinking. They want you docile and easy to control. It's a shame of the world we missed out on. Yeah, I don't really feel sad about all of that anymore. The whole world is gone. It is what it is. There's nothing you can do. Let us have a look at what the creator of what's this guy's name? In a recent interview, anime producer Taro Maki talked about how the Japanese corporate mindset is affecting the industry's originality. Yeah. Once again, this is BlackRock for you. This is Manu Beni for you, Japanese BlackRock. They're out of control. The corporations have indeed taken over now. There's no need to even lie to ourselves. Like at all. They have taken over. So the headline says, everything has become shallower. Tokyo Godfather's lane producer says the Japanese corporate mindset is 90% of anime just adapts existing works. That's decadence for you. A repetition of what was. There's nothing really new, nothing really fresh. There isn't a new spin on anything. It's just taking what was popular then and putting a new color scheme on it. Right? Something like this, basically. Whoops. Something like your Dragon Ball Super. Literally. Right? The Japanese anime market has reached the size of over $21 billion in 2023 and continues to expand at a rapid pace. However, as reported by whatever Business News of Japan, among all TV anime titles in the fall and winter season of 2025, 85% were based on existing source material like manga, novels, games, and other IPs. On the other hand, original works made up only 14%. And while it seems like the market is walking the safe and profitable route, the lack of talented workforce and with it frameworks to support the creation of original content are what could end up setting the industry back in the long run. He's right. He's absolutely right. You see, it's not just in the anime industry, but in the manga one. Like, we have seen that the new editors don't know what they're doing, right? But they out here just trying to mimic, not even mimic, man. I don't know the new formula. The new formula that Jump has is exorcism, or it's just dopamine, bro. They don't have a straight up formula anymore. At least like 3 years ago, they did, and it was very obvious. It was exorcism. Everything had to be rooted about exorcising demons and whatnot. But now we don't know what it is. It's just random garbage. But ultimately, he's right in saying there's a lack of a talented workforce. There is no nurturing of talent anymore. There isn't one, bro. You see, Torishima out here, he's still alive. He should open a school. But then again, how many people will come to the school? See, there is somebody who opened a school, which is this guy, the writer of Fist of the North Star. The thing is, though, I see now that you can open a school, man, and dudes are still going to do whatever the hell they want. We see that with Viz Originals. Everybody submitting to Viz Media, working with Hisashi, they don't take Hisashi's advice. Hisashi keeps mentioning character-driven stories. That's what I want. None of those mother effers who upload stuff there are doing that. So Hisashi is wasting his time also. We definitely cannot. Looks like you cannot change minds anymore. People are just too far gone. So what you're supposed to do is create a coalition of like-minded people, right? Have a community of the like-minded people who share the vision, who want what you want, who want to finish the product, right? And have something to say. In order to do that, you need to engage with the community. And a lot of people's methods of engaging are like DD Mark. DD Mark's method of engagement is jumping on Twitter trends and playing dungeon games and Twitter games, right? Queenie-chan plays dungeon games. If you don't know what I mean by that, you can jump onto the Patreon and see what the heck I mean by saying Queenie-chan plays dungeon games, Twitter games. See, this is how loser artists, right, who have nothing to say, want to funnel engagement. There is nothing in them. They are hollowed out zombies who have never tried to be themselves, who have never put themselves to the test, who have never stood for anything, always hiding amongst the crowd, right? Going along with the general consensus, congregating amongst each other, right? Regardless of all the bullcrap that they might be talking about in that very congregation. And their methods of engagement is to participate in the Twitter games, which is trends. Oh, so-and-so is trending today. Let me draw the character. Oh, guys, I like Barbie dolls. Let me tell you about it. No, see, somebody who, if a man gonna tell you that he likes Barbie like that, he's got the dolls, you know, he's got the blanket, he even bought the biscuits, right? He's got the soundtrack. He's humiliating himself, and humiliation really pumps you up in the algorithm. He's a cuck, right? A lot of dudes are cucking themselves out here, pimping their dignity away, pimping their literal spouses away, right? That's what they doing. You gotta humiliate yourself, man. You gotta devalue yourself. You gotta cuck yourself out. You gotta hold the rainbow blanket and wrap it around you and grab a giant Rambo mushroom plastic phallus and stroke it on the camera. And then the algorithm will promote you. This is appalling behavior, right? There's no integrity in such behavior. So that is what the DD Marks do, and a bunch of other artists, right? This is not how you engage with a community. A community built on personal humiliation is not sustainable, because there will come a time where the best way to humiliate yourself is to grab a gun on camera, right? And get the people watching. Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? Kai Cenat, recently, a month ago, he got bitten by a snake on camera, bro. Just for clicks, you know? Just for clicks. The snake tore deep inside up his arm, bro. You know? And I'm like, damn, man. Really? Just for clicks? That is humiliation right there. So what does this mean? This means, obviously, that a lot of dudes, a lot of artists in general, you don't know how to function without humiliating yourself on the stage. You do not trust yourself, nor know yourself well enough to stand on stage unmoved, but instead moving them. See, I am unmoved. I move you. That's how you got to be, right? But these dudes out here posting their L's every single day, posting how many pills they drinking, how much liquor they drinking, right? If they got the latest STD or something. Nigga, nobody cares about that. Stop humiliating yourself. Stop humiliating yourself. Stand on business. Finish your goddamn work. But they can't do it. It's easier to humiliate yourself, and a bunch of clowns like that, right? How can they be nurtured? Or how can they develop their talent at all? They're so used to clowning around. But aside from that, the corporations don't want talent to be nurtured. I mean, look at Image Comics, right? Image has not been nurturing talent for decades. It only started and ended in the 90s. And never again was there an attempt to nurture a new generation whatsoever? Never. Like the whole world is Africa. I've been saying that. I remember saying it so passionately and saying, guys, please, America, you got to go back to the standards or you're going to be Africa. Well, here we are. Here we are. We're all in Africa right now. It don't matter where the hell you are. You're in New York. You're in Spain. Nigga, you are in Africa. The politicians are as openly corrupt as the African politicians. It's just jacked right now. You know, completely. Regardless, though, that don't mean you should throw in the towel, right? Because most people, when they throw in the towel, they just become toxic uncles sitting under the tree, guzzling liquor and hating on the young kids who are trying to dream, trying to do something. Hey, little boy, what you think you're doing? Wait a minute, Unc. I'm just trying to dream. You know, I want to do this. Nah, boy, that's stupid. What, you stupid, boy? You stupid? You think you're better than us? Here, have a bottle, son. No, Uncle, I want to focus. Nah, don't do that. Don't give me that. Here, drink this up. That is pretty much where we are. Every hunchback is a drunken uncle trying to sabotage you, right, and force you to drink the liquor bottle. And I say no to that. And you should say no to that. All the lurking pieces of trash who run around on this channel still hate watching. Here's my middle finger, bro. Fuck you, right? Why you hate watching? Don't you have anything better to do? Seriously, you are that drunken uncle, but you know I could whoop your ass if you come and talk that bullshit, right? You're too weak and floppy to hit me with anything. You only got your bottle, but I'll see you swinging a mile away because you in slow motion, because you're so intoxicated with all that damn liquor. These damn hunchbacks, bro. The world definitely needs a reset, but it's not going to be the way it used to be. Putting people in the front lines, so majority of them, the hunchbacks, will get blasted and decapitated, and society would heal for a short time. Now, the world does not operate that way, and heck, I would not want to be on the front lines myself, you know. But I think there would have to be an IQ assessment of people who deserve or who should be at the front lines or not. And a lot of people today, these hunchbacks, these basement dwellers, they should be in the front lines or in prison. Continuing here, talking to the outlet, Taro Maki, veteran anime producer known for his work, Tokyo Godfathers, Millennium Actress, and Serial Experiments Lane. Out of the three here, I've only watched Lane. And Lane it's deep. It foresaw and foretold everything that we're going through right now. Reflected on the problem, pointing out Japan's businessman producer culture of playing safe as one of the main causes. I remember, I think 2 years ago, I made a video saying, stop playing it safe. Stop playing it safe. What is it going to get you? Look at this indie space of ours. Everybody except me playing it safe. Huh? They're all playing it safe, bro. People out here posting their L's, crying, humiliating themselves, and so on. Playing it safe. They want to make sure they don't step on anyone's toes, so they cut off their own toes. They cut off their own feet, their own legs. They want to be on a wheelchair. They playing it ultra safe. Let me cut off my legs so that I do not offend anybody. People will feel sorry for me if they see me on a wheelchair. And if they understand that I was so mentally ill enough to cut off my legs, they will indeed support me. Nah, mother sucker, they ain't gonna support you. They just gonna laugh at you. And if they do, they'll support you in spirit alone, because they are disabled mother suckers getting the disability check also. And they ain't got enough disposable income to throw your way for support, because that disability check is very, very, it only can pay for the essentials and nothing else. It's nuts, bro. Think about this, man. You want to cut your legs off? You want to cut your legs off so you don't offend anybody in the indie space? You want to play nice, milk and cookies, kumbaya, bullshit, right? Where has that gotten anyone who is behaving that way? Where has it gotten you? Dudes want to call me names and all that. Bruh, you ain't got nothing. Call me all the names in the book. But I got more. I got more of what matters than all those people who just keep hating and at the same time got nowhere else to go. They are bored to death by all those who cut their legs off, disgusted by their cowardness. But then even though they might admire the bravery here, it consistently shows how much of a coward they are. And so there's quite a bit of resentment towards me. But guess what? Grow a pair, finish your work, stop cutting your legs off. Go get a wooden leg, bro. 2 wooden legs, and stand up and start doing what you're supposed to do. The internet really has made adults act like primary school kids. As he explains, Japan is witnessing a lack of producers. Well, who aren't led by safe business decisions and profitability. There are many businessmen, producers in Japan, and in Japan, the system of evaluation basically focuses on minus points rather than plus points. Wow. In other words, not making any mistakes ends up being their main priority. And that makes you a robot. You gotta make mistakes. Look at the mother suckers trying to play it safe, right? You're trying to play it safe. You're trying to be perfect. So you cut your legs off, you cut your testicles off, you cut your arms off, or you cut your arms off, bro. You can't draw no more. You gotta draw with your teeth, right? And of course, that's unsustainable. That's why you can only draw a chapter a year, right? Because you want to seem perfect. And the best way to look perfect in today's modern world is to be a victim. Because victims can't do no wrong. When you have no legs, no testicles, no arms, you are perfect. You can't do no wrong. But there's no product getting done. It ain't getting done right. Because what's it about then? Is it about you having no limbs, or is it about the product? You can't produce the product without any limbs. This is where we are. This is where we are. Look, man, I don't respect cowards. I don't. All right? If you're too afraid to get attacked, be strategic in how you move. Be strategic. This ain't the time to be afraid as well right now. You got this AI garbage and Palantir, that massive surveillance company just wreaking havoc on the planet right now by upgrading their systems with the AI. I mean, come on, man. You cut your legs off for what? You didn't even get a single dollar for being, on a wheelchair. Anyway, Maki explained that in such an environment, there is no concept of taking on new challenges. You see this word, new challenges? Now, Fat Crumbs has always spoken against challenge, competition, and so on. All these primary school minded man children, right? Or women children, they have disemboweled the whole community, the whole industry, because they don't want anyone to be challenged. Coffee comics, coffee originals, everything that I do is to challenge you. Humans evolve through challenge. Goku became a Super Saiyan through challenge. For goodness sake. How could Goku be a Super Saiyan without that level of a challenge that Frieza was? It's common sense, bro. Who wants to end up like Fat Crumbs? Huh? Who wants to end up in the dungeon games and Twitter games like some people we know? Who wants to do that? A lot of people wash away the agony of being stuck in the dungeon by making a fool out of themselves yet again. Guys, I'm playing with Barbie. Guys, my cat died. Guys, my foot hurts. Guys, my thyroid ain't working. Guys, I'm ill. I ran out of pills. Man, fuck all that. I don't want to hear no excuse. You know, this whole weekend, I woke up with a serious migraine. I don't know what caused it. I think it was a lack of carbohydrates, actually. I was not having enough carbs, right? So it was really bad. Like half my head was throbbing, my eyeball shutting down, my arm going numb. It felt like I was having a stroke, you know? So even the AI said, okay, that sounds rather serious. Go to the doctor. Now, if you go to the doctor here, you might as well just go to the cemetery. You just might as well, bro. You'll be misdiagnosed, injected, or given some pills. You'll be dead in a month. So I was like, you know what? I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances. So looks like I just had a lack of carbs, right? But ultimately, at the end of the day, now I lost my train of thought, damn it. Fat Crumbs got in my head, man. Got in my head. Oh, yeah. Going back to the point of taking on new challenges, then you got to take the challenge. This channel is about challenging you. That's why people keep coming back. I challenge you. My story, the stories in Coffee Originals is to challenge you, to challenge the status quo. Right? Humans are dualistic by nature. So, in order for you to actually stay alive, to keep moving, there needs to be hot to your cold. There needs to be cold to your hot. And I am the hot to your cold. I am the heat, the fire, the caffeine, right? Brewed in a volcano and serving it out hot. You can't handle it, you change the channel. But mother suckers keep coming back. Accept the challenge so you can grow. Create challenging works, not flipping demoralizing works like that one French freak who wanted me to hang myself after reading that thing. Everybody with a brain who read that thing felt like blowing their brains out. That was not challenging at all. So now, continuing, that's why, as a result, only safe projects and hit genres are the ones circulating, he added, such as isekai. Yeah, there's an oversaturation of that. Someone might argue, well, bro, that's where this money's at. Look, this is what happens when you just focus on the money. You lose substance. You get the trophy wife, but she can't even hold a conversation. That's what happens, right? What you gonna do with a damn pretty statue in the house? Oh man, if she's a trophy wife, I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with her, man. Yeah. Yeah, but you're gonna get bored. Because you're going to do the whole whatever 9 yards with her. And then what? Right after your session, you're like, damn, she's still here? Yes, she's still there. Now you got to deal with that. As suggested by Maki, this kind of corporate mindset is what might be holding Japan back from creating more original works, and why the industry is oversaturated with safe adaptations. Nowadays, original works like manga or novels become hits, and then they get an anime adaptation, which would tie into the business of the publisher. Almost 90% of the whole industry is built around this kind of framework. This leave no room for anime creators to thrive. In the 90s and 80s, definitely there were a bunch of studios that created original anime OVAs, basically. There was a lot of them. You don't really see many OVAs now, do you? That's a problem. Um, Ideally, I'd be fine with around 70% of new titles being safe, but I think that the remaining 30% should be turning towards taking on new challenges. We can create a healthy anime industry only if we manage to find this balance. Well, that is not going to happen. So, that is a tragedy. That is a monumental tragedy. Let me check the comments. Yeah, I literally robbed myself sleep just to work on my stuff. Yeah, I physically can't sit there and do nothing. Exactly, bro. That's how it is. A lot of people just don't have the passion, I suppose. They really think that they love what they're doing. Dude, your actions prove that you love what you're doing, man. That's what proves it. Oh, I love is active, love is fire, and fire needs oxygen. It needs to be fed, right? So you gotta be active. It's a verb, bro. Love is a verb. It's constant. But if you're gonna be out here lollygagging and all that, then you don't love what you say you love. You're a lying sack of garbage. And I will expose you. Continuing, but acclaimed films like In This Corner of the World, which Maki personally worked on, didn't just appear as immediate hits. It took director Suno Katabushi around 3 mid-performing original works before he hit it big. With this movie, even Miyazaki had to go through some trial and error before producing his first hit. Maki says, the role of a producer is precisely to create room for those kinds of challenges. See, man, we're going backwards, bruh. Like people who are boomers, who should have more experience, who should have the practical knowledge. They are operating like a bunch of retards, you know, but it's because they're taking their corporate money. And just like the producer of Dragon Ball Super, the leader of a secret society, says Torishima, he's never worked on a manga, he's never written anything. He's just out here trying to maximize profits at the lowest cost possible. This is insane. It's insane. It's like this AI bubble right now. Honestly, will the bubble explode? Eventually. But at the same time, look at the debt bubble of Japan itself. Over 300 trillion yen in debt. It still hasn't exploded. The United States bubble. What is it now? $40 trillion in debt? Come on, man. None of this stuff, they don't need to pop any bubble. They pop it when they want to get the most out of everything that they can. This AI thing, seeing all these companies invest in it, sabotage so much to get the most cash. It's so insane, bro. It's insane. But they doing it. I honestly don't think it's gonna crash. What will create a crash though is the fact that if they succeed in taking away 50% of jobs or even 40% of jobs, the people who are unemployed, because the others who let's say they do take away 40% of jobs, 60% remain. The 60% remaining, they have low income jobs, right? Manual labor jobs. And they're going to be expected to pay subscriptions for everything. they're not gonna have enough money for that subscription. It's unsustainable because I'm like, hold on. You do realize if people don't have access to entertainment that they care about, they'll just consume what they've always had, or they will start creating new entertainment for themselves. They could start creating theaters and festivals and stuff like that. So it seems like a miscalculation on the oligarchs' part that if these humans don't have access to digital information, digital entertainment anymore, they're just going to create their own type of entertainment. They're going to dance around the fire type thing. And that is very much so true. Unless they put Terminators and military personnel to make sure that we don't congregate as they did during COVID. Though I doubt they'll do that. So realizing that part, the fact that if you take away 40% of jobs and the high earners, the one that had a subscription on Amazon, Netflix, Paramount, Crunchyroll, Showmax, you name it, right? You take away their income and then maybe they get a government subsidy. It's not going to be enough to cover all the subscriptions they once had. It definitely won't even cover any. And then the companies will be forced to pop the bubble. What comes after that, that's the thing. You want to say people will be hired again, AI will be put on the back burner. Come on, we know better than that. That's not going to happen. So it's very interesting and kind of scary because we're really not too sure what's going to happen. When I think about my job at the bookstore, there ain't no robot that's going to stack the books, right? Ain't no robot that's going to order books for people when they come in. So a lot of retailers will be fine for the time, I guess. But hey, that is not a job you want to stay at forever. So everybody got to be spotting the opportunity to capitalize on something they're good at right now. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm going to be delivering in February next year. People who just want to sit on the internet and think the internet is just a void for endless consumption, you're an idiot. The internet is a void or a place that now has limited opportunity. Limited opportunity. You want to know the greatest value there is right now? It's in human communities. That's the biggest value. I've said this a billion times. You don't establish a connection with your audience, you're going to be severely lacking in the years to come. Because when people have less money to spend, why would they spend on your stuff? They don't know who you are. They don't trust you. You just showed up out of nowhere. Hey guys, it's me. I'm new. I got this. Like, nigga, we ain't got the money. Nigga gonna be like, yeah, but you're supporting Coffee. We know Coffee. He's been here. We trust him. He delivers. He's always there. You know? He's always lighting the fire. So whatever we got, we're gonna give it to Coffee. We ain't giving it to you. Who the heck are you? You just might disappear from us. You just might grift and run. You know? We are living in a low trust civilization right now. Trust needs to be earned right now. And the best way to earn trust is consistent engagement at an organic level with your tribe. That's how it's got to be. Look at these fake mother suckers humiliating themselves. They think they are connecting with other people when they cut their legs off, cut their testicles off. You ain't connecting with nobody, except maybe with the mentally ill. But what can a mentally ill person on a disability check do for you, bro? Can't do anything. Can't help you. He can't be your vice captain. No, not at all. So what a tragedy. Let's read the lost part here. That's why Maki suggests that there should be more spaces that encourage experimentation with unconventional, difficult to understand anime that doesn't completely conform to what's the most profitable. Difficult to understand. Oh my. That is above the pay grade of the modern retard. The modern man is a man-child, hunchback, degenerate, freak zombie. I don't get it, bro, so it sucks. You don't get the nuance. What's nuance? Idiot. It is because nobody's being challenged that people are baked in the head. Stupid. Shallow. Come on, man. And look, it's all the old people say this. Torishima's ancient. The producer of Lane and Tokyo Godfathers, he's ancient too. I'm saying what the old people who succeeded are saying as they are on their way out, going straight to the coffin eventually. Some of us who still got some life, we're trying to make sure that their sacrifices, their discoveries of the objective standards of what makes something proper, I'm trying to keep it alive. How many people are participating in trying to keep it alive also? They just want to argue, just want to be a hunchback and then drag you down. It's annoying, really. The truth is, reactions from the audience are not something that can be predicted. And the difficult to understand works are there precisely to foster an audience. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of people want everything to be explained to them. You know, spoon-fed. Nah, bro, elevate, man. Grow, power up, go to the hyperbolic time chamber and get your brain right. Get your brain right. Stop doom scrolling for 7 hours a day. Stop drinking the liquor. Stop puffing it. Put the damn weed down. Put the weed down for a second. See, if you were high on your passion, you wouldn't be smoking it like that. You wouldn't be smoking it like that. Huh? What's the problem? What's the problem? If you finished your work, the high you get from finishing a chapter is 10 billion times greater than the high you would get from shooting up heroin and cocaine at the same time. And fentanyl. The high of finishing your work is 10 times greater than fentanyl, cocaine, and heroin. But you wouldn't know what that feels like because you're too busy smoking up the fentanyl. See, I know what I'm talking about. When I was down and out, I made that video and I showed y'all that I feel good right now because I finished my work. I feel good right now. I feel good right now because I got my own shop. I set up shop. You see, the coffee merch. The coffee merch. Right? Don't be a hunchback merch. Look at that. I feel good the fact that it exists. Some can say, oh man, none of it wasn't sold at all. Ha ha ha. At least I got a product, bro. Right? Other things got sold. Right? I'm gonna post what was sold. One bro sent me the pictures like, hey man, I got the teacup. I got the teacup. Real cool product. At the end of the day, the fact that I have something like this gives me the high. It shows that I am alive and trying and doing something. Right? And then somebody who's not trying, who isn't doing anything, who doesn't have a t-shirt, who doesn't have anything, gonna wanna laugh. What are you laughing at? You don't have anything, bro. You haven't tried anything. It's some dumb shit. You're legit retarded and should be in prison. Anyway, back in the day, there was a culture of watching slightly complex films at small art house theaters. And that's what gave us room to take on new things ourselves. But now there are no such places. And I feel everything has become a bit shallower. Absolutely sad. Very sad. But whatever. The new art theater house is Coffee Comics. I am the new art theater house. You got product that's got the standards, you will be featured. That's how I'm rolling. All these zombies who don't know what the hell they doing, I'm gonna drop dead soon enough. Soon enough, man. They want universal basic income based on social credit. Yeah, and we all had a taste of it during COVID. We had a taste of it. It's unsustainable though. I show speed tightening. Yeah, bro. I show speed is a true zombie, ghoul, monster, freak of nature. Like the guy's always on cocaine. Like honestly. Anyway, let's check out the next article. Then we'll jump to the Saturday AM video game. So, veteran manga writer behind Fist of the North Star is still trying to publish new stories at age 78, but no publisher wants to use them. Now, in all honesty, based on what the guy, the writer says at the bottom here, like some of the ideas that he's exploring, they are a bit ridiculous, but they're ridiculous if you're in the wrong magazine. So the main question here that should be asked is that which magazine and which genre was he trying to get into really? But actually which magazine? But it is rather interesting that somebody who's of this caliber, like Zero Magazine, is willing to put him in. Why? Kind of sounds like a BlackRock decision, you know, like a Marvel and DC decision, because they don't want you, they don't want the name of the creator to supersede the name of the publisher. That's kind of what I'm seeing over here. And that's rather devastating. But anyway, let's see. Recent interview reveals Fist of the North Star author has been working on brand new material, but has difficulties getting it greenlit. The writer in recent years has been focusing on producing new talent and providing opportunities for aspiring creators as his private manga school, Saku Mangasha. However, in parallel to his teaching job, the 78-year-old says he has been working on new original manga, has many more stories to tell, and has diligently been sending his manga scripts to numerous publishers, though without much luck so far. There's a possibility that the ideas that he's sending in do truly suck. There's a possibility. The problem is we have no idea what type of ideas he was sending in. Before I can even be like, hey, he deserves a spot. I mean, look at Kishimoto. When Naruto ended, Kishimoto came back with Samurai 8, and it was a complete catastrophe. That manga was not character driven at all, which would confirm the possibility that Naruto in itself was not really created by Kishimoto, but was created by Kishimoto's editor. A lot of these artists expose themselves really when they do a new series. They expose themselves as truly incompetent and never knew what they were doing. Samurai 8 was a very world heavy plot, and the main character was a sissy boy. No one cared. So I'm like, yeah, Kishimoto, I guess you were a hunchback also. Your editor wrote the story. It could be the same case here. It could be the same case here, honestly. So, I don't know, but it's worth the read. Oh, did my music end? Give me this. Talking to the outlet, Boron-san said that these days offers don't come anymore, so I have to bring in the manuscript myself. And even though nobody wants to use the ones I bring, I really want to see if a work written at my age with my current ability still holds up among modern day readers. That's why I'm forcibly bringing in my works to editors. But I think that behind my back they're saying, oh, that old geezer again. You know, I don't have sympathy for this guy because we live in the age of the internet where you don't need a flippin' dungeon and a dungeon master, right, to tell you if your product is going to be published in the dungeon or not. He should just write the story he wants and post it on his website. It's that simple. So it's completely unacceptable. You can't, I understand he's old, but no one cares, bro. We don't care if you're too old or too young. You need to get a clue. He needs to get a clue. It's not like he doesn't know the internet doesn't exist. Of course he knows. Right? With the fortune that he has amassed, he can easily create a website for himself. Right? He himself could publish the very students that he is teaching and call it the North Star Publishing Company. Imagine that. See, I suppose you gotta be a businessman. I'm a businessman. If I could speak Japanese, I would have gone there, konnichiwa, watashi wa coffee desu, soste, I have a business plan for you. And it is this, and here's the funding for it. And just like that, we would have made millions. Just like that, we would have made a difference. Just like that, we would be countering the garbage. The real issue is that people who have potential just don't have the infrastructure. If people with the potential had the infrastructure, they would have leverage and they would be taking people away from the slop dungeons, right? I have the infrastructure being built right now. And when I have the infrastructure in my hands, you are going to see what I mean, because clearly some people can't hear what I'm saying. You gotta see it to believe it. But some people still don't believe it even though they see it. Some people still gonna look at a work of art that's amazing and say it's terrible. So, yeah, man, a lot of disingenuous people out here. Talking to the outlet, oh, I read that. But despite the rejections, Boron-san doesn't seem to want to give up just yet. Invigorated by the daily interactions with his students, see this? This is what it's about, bro. If you spend all your time alone, or when you're not alone, you with a bunch of people who suck your energy, a bunch of monsters at the day job, like myself. Yeah, you want to feel real bad, but ideally, we all would like to be in a real place with people who share our vision, and the energy would just be right, He explains that he's been feeling much livelier ever since he established his manga school. I too have been feeling much livelier ever since establishing the Coffee Tribe. Indeed, I have. Before the Coffee Tribe, I was just a ghost, bro, waiting to disappear, wondering, why am I still stuck here, walking through walls and all that, unable to feel alive, participating in some gaming or eating pounds and pounds of donuts and cookies, only to get inyong, you know, to get a massive sugar rush and feel empty all over again. Never feeling alive, but just like a ghost. But you see, when the Coffee Tribe was established on Patreon, everything changed. It's the second best thing to having a literal place where you can hang out with people. And it's that simple. It's really that simple. Anyway. And it's still not ready to lose to the youngsters. While Two Beats, the latest manga he's written for, ended serialization in 2023, he has been actively working on numerous different scripts in hopes to score his next publishing deal. Recently, I've been writing a lot of stuff, and based on my hobbies, which are golf and horse racing, I'm also currently writing a story about a porn actress and a story about a swindler. I think maybe 2 of my scripts could go well, and it would be nice if they actually get greenlit by publishers. Bro, just do it yourself, man. The infrastructure to do it yourself is there. Come on. On a related note, Bronson's manga school was originally based in facilities owned by Saku City. However, the writer decided to invest 400 million yen. That's $400,000, ain't it? Yeah, that's $400,000, I think. Because in my currency, 400 million yen is actually 40 million rand, if I'm not wrong. Which is, that's a lot, man. That's a lot of money. Out of his own pocket. Where the hell did he? That's a lot of money, bro. Okay. Out of his own pocket to build the Saku Manga Sha so that the school can continue operating undisturbed, and has even requested to continue the school as long as the money allows it. Well, hey, that is commitment. I mean, hey, if you have the money, take out the money to build that infrastructure. If he could take out 400 million for a school, bruh, you can take out like 2 million for a website. Right? You can take out 2 million for a publishing house. A lot of people have everything in the palm of their hands, but they squander it regardless. Man, if I had that money, bro, I would be a trillionaire right now. You give me 400 million yen, and then you give me 2 years, I'll turn that 400 million into 1 trillion yen. All I need is the opportunity. All I need is the opportunity. Right? But oh well, life don't work like that. The days of somebody saying, hey young man, I heard your speech and here's $5 million. That's gone. That's never gonna happen now. You're on your own. You got to look at the circumstance and use what you got. But anyway, this guy totally can just do better by himself. Let's look at this article here. Manga artists amused to find decensored copies. Oh, no, not that one, but this one. Veteran manga artist exposes exploitative industry practices that are strangling Japanese mangaka. So more and more people are coming out that the publishers are dungeons. They work you to death. And some people are still planning to walk right in the dungeon where you will be underpaid. So in love with the idea of being, hooray, alhamdulillah, I'm in a Japanese publishing house where they're gonna work me to death and I'll pay me as much as I deserve. I mean, I just don't get it no more, man. Look, all of high school for me, it was all about going to Japan. Everybody knew that that guy wants to go to Japan. All my English speeches would be about Japan and stuff like that. You know, I've had people ask me before, after reuniting with people from high school. Hey man, did you end up going to Japan? I'm like, oh, you remember that, huh? I was like, yeah, bro, you were all about that thing. And I'm like, nah, I didn't go. Why not? Why not? Well, because the opportunity is not in Japan anymore. It's online. New Japan is the internet. It's the internet. Look at the self-sabotage of that writer of Fist of the North Star. He's knocking on the door, every single door, and they are not opening, spending years, wasting years. He's about to fucking die, and he's wasting more time instead of taking 2 million yen and creating a publishing house or some website. He took out 400 million. Everything is right in front of you, and you going somewhere else. It doesn't make any sense, bro. It doesn't make any sense at all. Man, I need a bathroom break. I'll be back. I'm gonna mute real quick. All right. Let's read here. Prompted by the recent suicide of manga artist Ashihara Hinaku, one industry veteran revealed the biggest problems facing mangaka in Japan, including low incomes and exploitative behavior by publishers. Like a dungeon, basically. I don't know what to tell you, man. I just don't know. Veteran manga artist Mayu Shinju recently published an article describing the biggest problem of Japan's manga industry, calling to attention the growing exploitation of mangaka by large corporations. Guys, if you know the publisher you're going to is owned by BlackRock, why are you going there, man? That's legit me walking to prison and asking the warden to put me in a cell. Why? I don't understand, bro. I don't understand. Everything is owned by BlackRock right now. You have the opportunity to capitalize right now with your own hands by just reaching out to people at a consistent basis. One guy once said, I forgot who I was talking to. We asked a question like, why don't these people want to go to oh yeah, it was with Black Swan on his channel. Why do these people like Diddy Mark not want to go to like a convention? And one of the excuses that the people are just too shy. Okay, is being shy going to pay your bills? Is being shy going to increase sales? Is being shy going to make a positive impact in your life? Or is that something you need to overcome? See, I was shy. I think we were all shy at one point, bro. Right? We're all shy, but some of you are not shy. You are just afraid of being judged. You're just afraid of being judged, man. But people want to judge you anyway, as a coward or as a bastard. People judge me as a bastard all the time. I don't care. Is calling me a coward, a bastard, going to decrease the amount of money that I can make? Is it going to do that? Many people will say, definitely. Okay, will being called a sweetheart gooey bear definitely increase how much money you're going to make? The answer is a definite no. In that department, being a soft gooey bear hunchback definitely will not guarantee an increase in your money. Because in order to be a soft gooey bear, you need to be fake as a mower, and you gotta cut your legs off so that you don't step on anybody's toes. People will feel sorry for you that you're on a wheelchair. Oh, look at him, he's on a wheelchair. He can't hurt me. I'll be his friend. But then you're a great annoyance, because nobody wants to hang around a disabled person, especially someone who cut their own legs off. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Japanese people who are in Japan, who have credibility, they have a name, they have opportunity to do things themselves, and they don't capitalize on that, they are mentally ill. They are mentally ill, and they deserve all the suffering that they are getting. Anyway, large corporations coupled with consistently low royalties. Man, that's even worse, bro. Like, this is why I promote digital sales. If you set up a shop on Patreon, or maybe Gumroad takes a lot though, some other digital platform where you can sell your product, you get a huge portion of that money, right? A huge portion. You want to go through a publisher where they won't cut your royalties in half? Come on, we can create merchandise ourselves right now. I got merchandise. I created it myself, right? You can create it yourself too. This one got sold. We got one sold t-shirt right here of Jacob and Irene. This is merchandise. You can do it yourself. What's the problem? Why you gotta go knock in these dungeons? Doesn't make any sense, man. The post was prompted by the recent suicide of mangaka Ashihara. Ashihara is believed to have had her rights as an original creator disregarded by parties involved in a live-action adaptation of her work, and the controversy around the incident is still ongoing. Oh, dude, can you imagine? They want to gaslight you to that degree. Nah, you didn't create this. The studio created this. Bruh. And then the publisher that published your work is not going to fight for you. Like, hey, you can't do this. She's the original creator. Blah, blah, blah. They're not fighting for you because they get a cut. They get a cut from exploiting you. If you cut out the creator, right, the people with the leverage can split the profits. The publisher gets a chunk and the studio gets a chunk, and you, the creator, get nothing. Is that what you want to go through, man? Bruh, I would have... This is why I'm saying, man. If there was just more proper infrastructure here, man, I would have changed the world, I'm telling you. I would have changed the damn world, bro. I am a visionary. I know I can do it. But this is also real life. You can get hit by a bus on your way to work. So, either way, I'm still trying. Post translation. I wrote this a while ago, but was unable to post it. It's about what I consider to be the biggest problem of the manga industry. I think we need to raise awareness of the current situation and make change happen on an individual level. With what happened recently, I've grown sick of the unchanging system imposed by large corporations, dungeon style. Dungeon style systems. Slavery. Do you want to be a slave, man? I remember creator of Black Clover. Apparently he went to vacation and Shonen Jump sent editors to make him finish the new chapter right there in vacation. They said you're not leaving the building until you finish working. I'm not sure if that was real or not, but it's definitely something they could do. It's not even funny anymore. It's not even funny anymore, bro. Right? Anyway, please read this. The age of manga artists being exploited by publishers has begun. Yeah, we're in the dark ages. All these corporations are massive feudal lords, right? And we are plowing their lands. But I don't want to say I have my own land, really, because I'm on the YouTube land and I'm on the Patreon land. If they buy out Patreon, it's game over. It's all over. But luckily, as I said, infrastructure-wise, I'm building, and that is only gonna grow further if the year goes well for that new thing I'm building. Because I see the future. We all do. Instead of panicking of, oh, Lord, what's gonna happen? It hurts. They're gonna take us. Do something now about it. I remember in the days where I would congregate with some people and we would all lament about what we have lost in our lives and how much we are still going to lose in our lives. In a way, it was rather cathartic that we are all sharing in this misery, wrapping ourselves warmly, using this blanket of despair. For a time, it was comforting to know that you are in the gutter with other people nearby. But you know what? I was like, deep down I am uncomfortable, rotting, because I'm still alive. There must be a reason I'm still alive. There ain't no real reason, right? But I was like, I'll give myself a reason for still being here. And that will be because there's opportunity then. I'm just not looking at it correctly. You need to stop congregating around doom-minded people. Oh, immigration. Oh, AI. Oh, women are crazy. Oh, this. Oh, that. Are you going to do something about it or what? Or what, bro? I'm telling you, man, if I ever make $1 million, do you have any idea how zero mother F's I'm not gonna give? If you thought I'm tuning people now, I'm gonna release an entire mixtape roasting hunchbacks and their ilk. I will shoot a music video, wear the shades and the boots, right? And have a damn helicopter in the sky creating a diss track for all them damn hunchbacks. To show you that even in the absolute darkest hour, there is one candle that's still lit. You only need one candle to start a fire. You only need one. You people who like staying in the dark, your collective misery, your mental illnesses, and rubbing each other's chests and saying it's okay, bro. Fuck you, bro. It's not okay. You sick, disgusting freak. It's not okay. You think humanity got here by saying it's okay? No. Got here through sacrifice. Got here by looking for opportunity, spotting it, right, from a distance, looking at cycles, repetition, patterns. Look at it long enough, you can predict a few things. It's just common sense at this point. So, for the hunchback's sake, hope and pray that I don't make $1 million so I can create a music video and diss you. It ain't gonna be pleasant, right? Mayu Shinjo is a shoujo erotic manga artist that has been active since 1994. She used to write for Shogakukan, one of Japan's major publishing houses, but she ultimately left the company to go freelance due to increasingly unfavorable working conditions. Due to increasingly unfavorable working conditions. Slavery. All right. In her recent viral post, published on February 14th, she gives a detailed explanation of the reality facing manga artists, who, as she described, are being strangled by bad business traditions. You see this? This is somebody in Japan saying what they're saying. This is somebody in Japan saying what they're saying. Guys, look, man. You gotta assess your bias, your positive bias you have towards Japan. I ain't saying have a negative bias. Just see reality for what it is. BlackRock took over the whole planet. And all these creative industries that are ran by them, corporations that are ran by them, they will strangle you, bro. They will burn you out, right? They'll burn you out. And obviously they want to use AI to do everything eventually. One of the major points Shinjo brings up is royalties. For print manga, artists have been receiving a standard 10% throughout the year. Bro, I didn't know this. This is unfair. This is some monumental bullshit. This is crazy. I didn't know that. The standard is 10%. That's unfair. And I know some corporate apologists will be like, "Hey, gotta pay for the bill in the office and pay the salaries and whatnot." Well, you wouldn't be able to pay any of that without the original creator anyway. That's unfair, man. No way, bruh. Now that I know this, now even more I say no to Japan. For me. No to Japan. For me. No thanks, bro. No thanks. This low rate was excused by the need to involve various parties such as editors, typesetters, printing companies, retail mediators, retailers and warehouse management companies in order to deliver manga to readers. Yeah, exactly what I just said. But you wouldn't have anything or any of the money without the original creator. However, as Shinjo notes, even with the advent of digital manga publications, royalties to the manga artists have remained extremely low, most often at 15%, in rare cases 20%, and this is for digital? Bruh, you sell your digital stuff on Patreon, like me selling a volume of Bloody Hell for $8, I get $6, right? Patreon takes their cut, it's just $2. It's just $2, bro, right? So I basically get 80% of the money versus these mega corporations. How could you possibly want to walk into this, man? How could you? Hi, Chihuahua. This is despite most of the in-between companies being out of the picture and the publisher having far less responsibility in the process than with print manga. Shinjo also mentioned some personal experiences that indicate publishers' attitude towards mangaka. After leaving Shogakukan and refusing demands to give up the rights to her work, Shinjo attempted to negotiate with her e-book distributor directly to have her manga published and offered at a higher price. However, when Shogaku Khan learned of this, this is crazy. This is crazy. When they learned of this, they attempted to threaten the distributor, pressuring them not to accept the deal. This is some African mafia style bullshit. The world is African. Welcome to the jungle, bro. It's only a matter of time before BlackRock knocks at Patreon's door and be like, listen, you're going to have to do what we tell you to screw over all the creators on Patreon or else. It's only a matter of time. You know, it's only a matter of time because all the independent people who want to thrive, they set up shop on Patreon. It's the biggest target. They're going to hit it last. They're going to hit it last. It's going to decimate what's left of the indie creative space. There is a alternative to Patreon, which is Ko-Fi. There is even OnlyFans, right? Heck, people will jump to OnlyFans because OnlyFans is like a Patreon, just, you know, for hoes and hussies and whores. So they could sync OnlyFans too, because OnlyFans is a very useful tool to demoralize people right now. Make all the women prostitutes, pretty much legalize prostitution through the internet, right? Call it an empowering job to show your coochie over there, and keep demoralizing people, right? And eventually they can outlaw all the prostitution on OnlyFans and replace it with AI booty and all the women who are shaking it there or spreading it there. It's over. It's over. No one will care. In fact, I honestly think the next generation, like maybe 12-year-olds right now, I think 12-year-olds, bro, are going to prefer AI women. Like imagine in 20 years, I'll be 50. I don't know if I'll still be around at 50, but in 20 years, the 12-year-old will be 32 and he's watching AI booty right now. He ain't gonna be interested in Martha in his classroom right now. Martha didn't take a shower today. She smells weird. She's mean. She acts like Beyonce, but she has no talent. And Jimmy's like, I don't want to deal with this. Let me just go to AI. Talk to AI Martha over there. In fact, I like Mrs. Von James, my English teacher. Let me take a picture of her. Put her on the AI. Talk to her. You know, just like that. Game over. Lights out. Human extinction is a definite possibility at this point, right? But at the end of the day, all of this is to disempower the individual human and the human spirit. And a lot of people have already given up, and you've given your spirit away, you've given your power away by just not trying to capitalize on the opportunity that's right in front of you. Just like the writer of Fist of North Star. If you have 400 million to start a school, you have more than enough to start a website or your own publishing house, to publish the works of your own students. Why the hell did he not think of that? It's just madness to me. Absolute madness. But anyway, at the time, ebook distributors were dependent on publishing companies, putting them in a disadvantageous position. This is nuts, bro. Well, they say at the time, as if anything has changed. Well, it says this has changed in the meantime, with publishers increasing demand on ebook distributors to agree to host their titles. But publishers continue to take the biggest percentage of the royalties. Shinjo mentions that more and more authors are raising complaints about the low rates they receive, but that publishers do not listen, maintaining an everyone gets that much attitude. This is slavery, bro. This is slavery. Bro, you got all kinds of people in the West knocking at Viz Media's door. Viz Media is no different. It's a dungeon. All these places are dungeons. It's crazy, and it's always so interesting to see French artists like scratching their heads, not knowing what to do, where to go. Like, dude, you're in France. You got the infrastructure. What's going on? I wish I could talk to some French manga artists. I wish I could. But they don't want to talk. They don't want to talk. It's like, do you people realize that the greatest value right now is a human being talking? Right? That is what's most valuable right now. A human being talking and knowing what they're talking about within a particular industry or genre. That is the most valuable thing. Becoming an expert in something that people care about. If you are a participant in something people care about, then surely you can talk about it, right? But these mother suckers can't talk. Okay, you're gonna miss the bus. In fact, you have missed the bus, honestly. Moreover, it is common for professional manga artists to rent studios and hire assistants for their work, but according to Shinjo, this is paid by the artists themselves in most cases, meaning that their already low income is slashed even further by the expenses. Boichi once spoke about this, right? When everybody in his studio was starving to death and they were looking for money underneath the couches to go buy noodles at the convenience store while they were waiting for the royalties check to arrive at the end of the month. Can you believe it? Boichi, he was a high-level artist even back then while working on Sunken Rock. Can you believe it? And then you want to pack your bags and go to the Japanese dungeon. Man, I don't know, bro. What could possibly make you think that as a foreigner, they will treat you better than how they treat their own people? They treat their own people like cannon fodder. And then you come along with your gaijin ass, and you think you're gonna be treated special? Nah, man. Man, it's a damn shame seeing people waste so much time. Wasting so much precious time, bro. Do you know how good I feel that I got 2 storyboards completed? Chapter 29 and 30. Man, I'm excited to start drawing it tomorrow, but I have a feeling I'm gonna get screwed over tomorrow. That's usually what happens, right? I was designing a new character today. Like a new fairy is gonna appear in the next chapter. Well, in chapter 29. And I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. I've waited a long time for this part. I was designing what is the cover for volume 4 gonna look like. Having fun, bro. Having fun. Getting lost, distracted from myself and the garbage of the world. And not just mindless distraction, but productive distraction that will give me a return of investment. Drawing these fight scenes here, I'm like, okay, I need to figure out a rhythm for these fights, you know, and I have, but sometimes I'm like, man, do I really have to draw so many pages with the actual fight? And then I was like, it's not about the amount of pages that make the fight memorable or cool. It's what the fight represents, what they are fighting for, what each opponent is fighting for or against. That is what makes it memorable and cool, right? And of course, some nice scenes here and there. Because you see DD Mark, very good fight scenes, but you forget what they're even fighting about. But with my stuff, you'll never forget. Ever. Right? So, let's finish up here. Shinjo finishes her article by appealing to manga artists to question publishers on royalties, to ask for breakdowns of percentages and negotiate to have publishers cover assistant fees. That's not going to happen anymore. She pleads for creators to help protect the mangaka profession and not let themselves be exploited. Yeah, unfortunately, these people want to be slaves. I mean, if you want to go to Japan, bro, you want to go to Viz, you want to go to any establishment, you want to be a slave. But what else? What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? We cannot ignore what all these people who are there are saying. Hey, we are Japanese. We were born here, bred here, yada yada yada. We're being treated like dogs. So much so, somebody commits suicide. And then a foreigner comes in there, believes that they will be treated better. Come on, man. Come on. Time is very valuable, and you must attack accordingly. You must know where to strike. Anyways, let's go to the white manga video game. Let's watch the video game trailer. All right, the game looks great. It looks awesome. I cannot hate. It looks fun even, you know, it honestly looks fun. I love fighting games. I'm a fighting game guy. I see a fighting game that has cool combos, cool finishers, you know, nice designs. I'm like, hey, I wouldn't mind playing it. I wouldn't mind playing it. So, what's the problem? There is absolutely no problem with the game itself. The issue here is that the game is about pretty much the Saturday AM, I'm sure. You know, when all the characters meet in that universe thing, you saw it here. What is this? It said so here. Saturday Wars, right? So it's using this story from Saturday Wars, and I've never read Saturday Wars, but I suppose it links all the characters together and kind of explains where they come from their own different universes. Cool. Now, personally, right? We all tend, when you play a video game, especially a fighting game, let's say like Sparking Zero or any Dragon Ball game, you know exactly which character you want to play as. You've always liked Goku, you've always liked Vegeta, you've always liked Krillin, whatever, right? You know who you want to play as. Now, the issue with Saturday Sack and Apple Sack and all that is that none of the characters are likable. You know, none of them are likable. And if some of them are likable, there's a bad taste in your mouth because of all the atrocious marketing schemes and gimmicks that they use, using the DEI garbage and rainbow and pro-black, whatever. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But this game trailer did not touch base at all on any of the DEI rhetoric, which means to the person who doesn't know that this is a DEI company and so on, they will actually be like, hey, I'm curious. Oh, look, this stems from a comic book. Interesting. Let me get into it. They can get into it and start reading and be like, there's nothing here. I just spent $20 in this game, and I started reading the manga that they got going, and there's nothing here. What's going on? So in other words, it's unsustainable. In other words, it's another gimmick. It's another gimmick. You know, the game looks cool. The game looks fun, right? Heck, what the heck? What happened? Oh, this is a 9-minute video? Oh, I thought it was just a trailer. I ain't listening to this nigga. But anyway, yeah, the game looks fun. The game looks cool. But in the end, it's just another gimmick, bro. Because when people want the product itself and the product just has these goofy characters, then no one's actually going to be a fan. They're just going to be people who got hoodwinked into buying the game and buying the product. Word going to get out that, yo, this some DI stuff. This is not inspiring. The writing is bad. The characters are boring, generic, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know where Saturday got the money to fund this game, because I'm sure producing this game cannot be lower than $50,000. I'm sure this had to be $50,000 or more. It had to be. If not, I'm sure, I guess they use some AI optimizing tools. And that's the only positive side, I guess, with AI, that if you're trying to make a game, you can artificially optimize a few things. And that can work in the short term as well. So I really cannot hate on the game itself. It's just, we know the contents that the game is built upon. And so I'm not a fan. You know, I can't not be a fan when you know the substance of these characters, of the company, of the people behind the company. And even if we were to leave the people out of it, just the material itself, it's not good enough. 15 years Saturday has been alive. Apple SAC only has 5 volumes in 15 years. That's ridiculous. I'm going to have volume 5 next year. In 3 years, I got 5 volumes. What sense does that make, bro? How old is Clock Striker? Clock Striker, I think it's over 5 years old, if not a decade. Only 2 volumes. It's another gimmick. Exactly what Rob Liefeld and those freaks at Indie were doing. So, come on, man. Come on. This is not sustainable, bro. Apple SAC by now should have had like 12 volumes, right? Part 1 of Apple SAC should have been completed. But no, who knows what the hell White Manga's been doing, right? So these people aren't serious, bro. It's all about the quick buck. The buck is important, but if you try to capitalize and make it quick, then you're always gonna fail, right? You're gonna fail. And the money that was spent to make this game, whether it is $50,000 or more, or let's say 20, surely it cannot be lower than 20,000, even with AI optimization. 20,000, 50,000, or 80,000. That money got to be paid back. So the artist in Saturday AM, I mean, we saw what Senny said. She left. She said, you know, none of us were being paid well. White Manga himself, I make money through social media stuff. But somehow White Manga's got assistance. So, White, who's paying your assistance, bro? What's going on? You see what I mean? There's a lot of fudgery happening up in there. A lot of fudgery, man. So, all this hocus pocus garbage that makes it look like they are super legit. You ain't legit if you don't have any finished product. None of their works are finished. None of their works are even at the halfway point. And I'm supposed to take them seriously. That other people who are actually curious are supposed to take them seriously also? But you have been in operation for 15 years? Get the F out of my face. Get out of my face. Absolutely not. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. If I make that $1 million, I'm going to do the unthinkable, right? But even if I don't make the $1 million, sure as heck made a whole lot more than what these lying mother suckers have been doing for the last 15 years, right? And all the haters that just sit there and watch and just play with themselves and keep drinking that liquor, you'll have nothing to show in a year. You have nothing to show for this current year. I have so much to show for this year. And the beginning of next year, I will have something even greater to show. Why? Because I'm serious. Because I mean what I say. And I enjoy what I do. And I know I need what I do. If you don't need what you're doing, be honest and just quit, bro. Just quit. Stop pretending that you love this thing enough. Stop posting your L's online. Stop posting your L's, bro. Stop trying to win sympathy points. That ain't gonna give you $1, bro. That makes you a loser. Stop it. Life is actually not that hard. It's very simple. If you can spot the patterns of your environment, you master the patterns of your environment. And then you master the patterns at a macro level of your country, your civilization. And then at a bigger scale of the world, because now you're trying to capitalize from a world point of view, right? Which is through the World Wide Web. Analyze the patterns of the things of the web. If I wanted more views on YouTube, I could get them because I know what is required. All I gotta do is just attack people, right? You saw how many views that French manga got? People who never heard of my channel, bro, came in there and whatnot, and yes, I deleted comments, because I'm not gonna let an ignorant, dumb sack of garbage just spew his nonsense without any context. I'm not gonna do that. And that was half the video. How are you gonna come to a proper conclusion based on half a video? It is utterly retarded. I ain't got no time to allow somebody that stupid to pollute my comment section. I don't cater to pedestrians. I don't. If you have a pedestrian mindset, go jump off a cliff. Right? Everything is simple. You just gotta stop being so stubborn. Right? Because your stubbornness, it ain't gonna get you anywhere, man. Anyway, let's quickly have a look. Have a look over here. Look at Siren. Let me go back home. Let's see what we got here. Maybe some new news. What's this guy saying? I can't watch this without shedding tears. Anyone who doesn't get this up until now, they've never read Jump. You know the Holy Trinity. Oh snap, the Trinity. Oh, this guy Coffee's crazy. He's talking about Trinities. Well, what's this guy saying? The Holy Trinity of friendship, effort, and victory. You damn octopus. That's what I thought, you damn octopus. It's all about those feelings, you know. And come New Year's, it'll mark the 2nd anniversary of the teacher's passing. The Trinity, y'all. I've been telling you. Y'all be saying I'm lying. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm making it up. Suck the Dragon Balls now, bro. Suck them. Suck them. They're right there. Go and suck the Dragon Balls. Telling me that I'm making things up. Just because somebody's too retarded, it ain't my fault. Oh no. The Legend of Aang, the last Airbender movie, will no longer release in theaters next year. Instead, the film will be released exclusively on Paramount TV. They gonna make sure that you subscribe to Paramount TV and pay all kinds of money. I bet you the movie's gonna suck. We all know. Oh, what is this? Trailer of. Oh, we gotta look at this live. Okay, okay, okay. We gotta see this. Avengers Doomsday, huh? Oh man, make this thing HD, damn it. Or 720 at least. Okay, Steve Rogers in the house. Oh, okay. So that is just fan service for all the zombies of the Marvel squad. Ah, that's all they got, man. See what happens in decadence? But Steve Rogers aged out and he gave his shield to the nigga. Uh, yeah, man, I just don't know anymore. But it is what it is. It's fine. What did you expect, you know? Samurai 8 had far too much exposition in the first chapters. Yeah, why it got cancelled. February isn't too far away. No, it's not. Some recommended Masakazu Katsuri, Shadow Lady, and AI Video Girl to me. I only heard of his Tiger Bunny and Z-Man. Oh, Masakazu created Tiger Bunny? I didn't know that. Okay. Glad that 2025 turned out to be a big year for you, bro. Thanks, Mike. It has been an enormous year of self-discovery and the breaking of false narratives and realizing that a human being can rewrite their own narrative. We're born in a place, and that place will establish a narrative for you, and you think that's your purpose, and you have to achieve everything that narrative tells you. But that's not the case, you know. And I'm glad I now know this, because I don't feel the guilt for not achieving certain established narratives, because I know now that it was never objective anyway. It was a construct for the sake of order in society, but that society is gone now. It's not the society of old. It's a new one that nobody understands. So, rewrite your own. Yeah, Luck, you hella late, bro. So late that I'm about to shut it down. Let's see, did I miss anything else? Oh, I did want to... oh, yes. For those on Patreon, we will be disemboweling Deb because she embodies what I was talking about when it comes to people cut their own legs off so not to step on your toes. Deb is exactly that on Coffee Ultimate. So if you ain't there yet, you better get there. Oh, this was... Yes, I did want to touch base on this. So listen to this, right? Badass School Teacher Drama, Volume 3. Series has sold 200,000 copies digitally for Volumes 1 and 2. Now, with the article we read, now understanding that through an establishment, you only going to earn 15%, and in rare cases, 20% of royalties through digital sales. That's horrendously bad. That's very bad. I am unimpressed anymore, right? I am unimpressed. But at the same time, somebody said something in the comments here. This part, 200K digital chapter downloads. Because if it's truly 200K digital copies sold, it's almost comparable to the level of, no, I don't think that was the one. Oh, did someone take it down? To compare with other Akita Shoten comics, if it's true, blah, 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 blah. There was another comment here that said that this doesn't actually mean much. It definitely doesn't mean much now that we know that you only get 13% or 15%. Oh well. What a bummer. So, Siren. I've spoken about this 100 times. This manga 100 times, right? I have the whole collection almost, right? I ordered the missing volumes. I think I'm missing like 6 or 7 of them out of 16. I have the final volume, right? But they will be restocked next year, no doubt about it. But I'm greatly disappointed by the anime visual, just looking at it, bro. You know, because they butchered Ageha, bro. This is why I'm like, what? The studio that created this, who are they? Let's go to the website. Our website looks absolutely awesome. But now that we have a better view of the main character, look how big his head is, bro. He looks like a long, elongated, string bean, noodle arm, skinny soy jack, bro. And that is not what he is. The guy is like Ichigo, honestly, if you read the thing. He's built like Ichigo. But the studio, for some reason, have jacked up his proportions. And I know, it's like, well, bro, it's just one visual. That one visual, this one visual, is the selling, right? Is the selling point of what we can expect. If you're going to make the main character look like a flippin' noodled arm, elongated boom slang of a character, people ain't gonna be inspired. Even Yuji looks better than Ageha here. And obviously Yuji is a piece of trash character, you know. Like Ageha is legit, he's straight up Ichigo. He's an Ichigo who's playful. He's a playful Ichigo, right? So that's disappointing. Like the backgrounds all look great and whatnot. That's the only visual we have. But I am saddened that the studio it just ain't it, man. The studio that should have gotten Siren, I don't want to say Mappa per se, but you know, it should have been something better, honestly. Maybe studio, with studios, you know. Yeah, because you know, even the latest trailer for Bleach, I'm not impressed by the animation. It looks like the budget went straight for the soundtrack. But oh well. Oh, what do you know? Inupen is here. What's Inupen doing here on Twitter? Guy who dropped the ball and everything, knocking on Dungeons' doors. And people gonna say I'm hating. I ain't hating, bro. You still working for some Korean guy who didn't invite you to the creator sit down when you are illustrating his work. That's taking an L. In the dungeon, that's Viz Media, and nothing's happening. In fact, let's go to Inupen's YouTube, since he has a YouTube now. See what the heck's going on. I guess he ain't focusing on YouTube anymore. Inu Pen. That's how you spell it, right? It's double U, one word. Let's see how the dungeon games are still going for him. Because bro said he was gonna vlog everything, you know, his way to the top of the Viz dungeon, and nothing in the last 3 months. You see, a lot of people burn themselves out for a simple reason. You are doing something you don't actually want to do, and you're being disingenuous. You're taking too much energy, or you're burning too much energy by playing a character instead of being yourself. I am most energized when I'm being myself, bro. Right? I am drained when I lie. And clearly, the people who cannot be consistent on YouTube, they are draining themselves because they are not honest with themselves. They are not themselves online. I mean, there are bigger people on YouTube who are not honest with themselves and are still consistent because they're on cocaine. They know that this is their job. They take it seriously. They might not like it, but that's why they sniff cocaine here and there, you know, to take the edge off. So this is disappointing. I mean, someone told me that Inu Pen's Cave King sold out at Barnes and Nobles. It's at that moment that Inu Pen should have capitalized and made a volume 2 and told people when it's coming out and made a deal with Barnes and Nobles. Then he would have made all kinds of money that go to his pocket, not to a third party, not having to split the cash. Could have done it himself. Inu Pen's another example of somebody who has everything he needs and more right in front of him, but he chooses to have his hands cut off or tied up by a dungeon master. It's so bizarre, man. So bizarre. Let's see. Not gonna lie, being a Sonic fan is so hard because bro finally has one good game. Okay. Generative AI novelist sci-fi drama. The 100-Year War, Volume 4. What? Was this made by AI? Oh man, I'm not even surprised. Oh, who's this? To my surprise today, I was able to receive the Order of the Rising Sun. Who's this artist? Oh, is he... Did he make Dragon Quest? Oh, okay. Well, Inu, I wonder what your idol would say if he knew that you're squandering your own opportunities, bro. Honestly, man. What are we supposed to say, man? What are we supposed to do? You know, and people, y'all can make fun, but like, you know what, Coffee? You're saying everything because you're just a nigga dying in Africa. Okay, fine. But that doesn't mean I'm wrong. That's the thing. I'm not wrong. Whether I'm dying in Africa or not, I'm not wrong. There's so many people who complain about, I need this, I need that, I need more resources. You can have more resources. Just think outside the box. Get your head out your ass. But no, it's so comfortable being a victim all the time. Whining, complaining, me, all the time. Come on, man. Come on. 4 years ago and today. Okay, let's see the improvement. So this is 4 years ago. You have got to be joking. See what I mean? Inu Pen doesn't even know his own power level. He doesn't know. This literally looks better. This is literally more appealing. This is generic as hell, webtoons, slop looking type stuff. This looks better. How is this progress? What a disaster, bro. Oh my word. No, this is a sick joke. 4 years ago, and now, you're kidding, right? Look how alive and expressive, right, this version is versus now. The design is just like, what? Okay, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This just ain't it. This is not how it's supposed to be. We're all going backwards. Well, I ain't going backwards. I'm going forward. Oh, the man himself, Brendan, shonen mangaka. Nigga, you ain't no mangaka, bro, working on webtoons. See, again, that fish hook, bro. These people using that manga term as a fish hook to bring people who are willing to spend money on sequential art, which is usually manga, and you realize that this isn't manga at all. This is a webtoon. This is a webtoons guy. Man, you gotta be kidding me, bro. This space is filled with frauds, liars, hunchbacks, losers, simps, mentally ill toads, and barbarians and cowards, bro. Like, you see everybody out here trying to aura farm, trying to be a celeb, trying to be a goat, and whatnot, bruh. Just finish the work. Well, Brandon Chen is finishing his work. Now, I don't even consider his work at all. It's slop. It's straight up slop, bro. I don't know anymore. I don't know, man. I'm telling you, if I make it, right? I already have made it, if I'm being honest. I have made it within the circumstance. I am actually living life like how a professional would be living their life, right? Spending a lot of their time drawing pages or planning pages. That is making it. I just don't have $30 million, right, to rub it in people's faces, but I live like I made it. I work as if I made it. So I kind of have made it within the circumstance. And this is only the beginning. I don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to hear hunchbacks complaining no more. Right? But oh well, y'all. I guess that's about it for now. Oh, look, it's this artist. This artist who got mad that people said he can't really draw. No, he cannot draw. He uses 3D mods too much. Inconsistent character designs, like proportions all yanked up. I spoke about on Patreon. Like, dude, please. Oh, there was a video on YouTube about it. I don't even care, bro. Like, if you ask yourself, what is this guy even working on right now? He was working on this one-shot trash, and it didn't work out. But before that, what was he working on? What is he working on now? You don't know. It's that sense of directionlessness that you find in the Western, in the manga space, where people are just throwing things online. What is it for, bro? Are you informing people that, yo, here's a poster of the next product, right, coming out soon? This is how it's gotta be, man. I'm gonna show you this right now, man. Playing no games here. Look at this, man. Look at this. You see, this is what, when you post something on social media, it's you informing people about something. Or showing people that you're still active, but what you are showing them is what you are still selling and working on. We got bloody hell characters right there wishing you a Merry Christmas, and we got characters from oh my word, from Phenomena, okay, from Phenomena, the MANAA that is from Coffee Originals created by Luck. Sometimes I just have to revert to this accent to pronounce better. So this is how it's got to be. Dudes gonna spend 50 years offline, come back and expect people to give a damn. No, man. No. This is what it means to be intentional. Look, Luck drew his characters. They're looking at the screen. Merry Christmas. We just got finished dropping off some gifts, right? Looking at the camera. You look at my characters. Lisa's the one looking at the camera. Jacob and Irene have their own little story in the back. It is interesting. It's intentional. I don't want to hear people telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. Who the hell are you? Where's your stuff? Nobody from here on out has any right to judge me when I have so much product, catalog, and backlog, and a damn team. Right? Torishima's right. If you don't have no product, you can't say a damn thing. Everything got to be intentional, people. Oh, I forgot to actually say this. So this was volumes of Bloody Hell that was in the bookstore. I go to work this weekend. I do my usual checks around the bookstore, right? Before we open up the shop. I go to the manga section. I'm like, where's Bloody Hell? It's gone. Yeah, they bought all the Bloody Hell there. I was like, whoa, because it was literally the most expensive manga product there. It was the most expensive manga product. None of these, except for obviously the Sailor Moon box set, that costs like $100, right? But mine, because of tariffs and being published through Ingram, and I guess I didn't price it correctly because I didn't talk about or didn't consider the tariff thing. It was very pricey, but they bought it. And I'm like, you see, the fact that they bought it means I got to capitalize on this now. So what's the next step that I gotta do? I gotta make sure that the Bloody Hell Omnibus 3-in-1 volume is available in January for purchase, and it's gonna be in the bookstores again, but much cheaper. This is how you capitalize on things. Niggas telling you to wait 5-7 months, they don't know what the hell they talking about. I had Ingram send me a check on Friday. I'm like, wait, I got more money coming in from book sales? I thought it only happens per quarter. I don't know what happened, but they sent me a check. And I walk into the bookstore, the books are gone. You can't tell me nothing no more. These hunchbacks can't tell me nothing anymore. I'll show you how to capitalize on momentum. For all these skillywags and gooey bears and mother suckers who think that you can just lollygag, I'll show you. And you know what? Again, if I do make it, if I make that $1 million, bro, I'm booking a flight coming to your house and smacking the dirt out of you. This is proof that if a nigga in Africa can just do the bare minimum as I have done it, why the fuck can't you do it? Why can't you do it? I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You think you're working hard enough? Clearly you're not. You're not working hard enough. I don't want to hear nobody tell me how I got to do my business. My business is working. I'm making money. And I'm going to make a whole lot more next year. There will be no one left to question me. You ain't going to question me. My actions prove everything. These sales prove everything. And I'm going to make more sales next year. All you got to do, if you're still not a believer, you just got to watch as I climb up the summit and up there enter the golden gates where an entire field of gold and silver awaits me, right? When I'm there, you're going to be hating and saying, Oh, he bribed somebody. He cheated. He lied. He did something. No, bro. You saw me climb. You saw me grind. You saw me do it all. And you still didn't believe. You sat there. You kept hating. You kept drinking your cola and your liquor, going to your Discord, talking that smack, but you got nothing to show for yourself. You're being outworked by somebody rotting in Africa. You're being outworked by somebody fighting lizards on a damn daily basis. I'm fighting lizards, niggas, crazy stuff happening all the time, right? And I'm still getting the work done. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And to everybody that stabbed me in the back, right? You know who you are. All of you who stabbed me in the back. If you think you're going to come knocking my door after what you have done, right? I will embarrass the life out of you. I will end your life, bro. I will end your life right through the computer. Do not knock at my door when you finally believe that all this time Coffee knew what he was doing. Don't knock at my door asking for opportunity. I will bury you. You missed your opportunity. These people who cannot spot opportunity, you will pay for it dearly. You think the establishment is going to save you? We just read Japanese people committing suicide because the establishment screwed them over. You want to take your foreign ass over there and think they're going to give you a green card, stamp of approval, and milk and cookies. They want to put you to the damn grave. I don't want to hear it. We're not doing this just because we want a lovey-dovey community, bro. We're doing this because we do want to capitalize. All this stuff is intentional, bro. It's intentional. It's intentional. I should roast every South African, actually, who has come against me and be like, listen, bro, you are doing what you're doing and you didn't make enough money to buy a product like this right here. You can't afford a ROG Ally. You can't buy 3 of these, but I can and I did because I made the right investments and I made all kinds of returns. So in other words, you niggas in this country who gonna talk smack about me, nigga, you can't afford this. You can't buy 3 of them, so I don't wanna hear it. You can't spend what I've spent on what I'm building next year. I don't wanna hear it. How are you gonna sit there and tell me that I don't know what I'm doing? I don't know what I'm saying when clearly the results prove otherwise. I don't want to hear it. If there won't be people at the bookstore who just gonna buy bloody hell, I waited months, right? The books arrived in October of this month at the bookstore. And I was saying to you guys, I'm looking at the surveillance cams, and most people are just picking up the usual. JJK, Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan. Dun Dun Dun, the trending stuff. Well, for the time being, guess what? Dun 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 had ended, right? There were no new trailers for JJK and Attack on Titan. Well, it ended a long time ago. So there was what? There was a pause, right, in the mainstream. And people became curious for something new. And somebody was curious enough to see bloody hell and be like, I'm taking it. I'm taking both books. Right? I'm taking it. So, what does that show you? It shows that when there is a pause in the mainstream, people look for something new. You people who are still retarded, you don't know how to spot opportunity, right? You need to know when's the perfect time to strike. It's when there's a pause in the mainstream. There will always be a pause. But you see, next year, people are going to be guzzling JJK, guzzling Chainsaw Man, guzzling Siren, Bleach, and whatnot. But all of that is mostly throughout the first half of the year. And there will be a very long pause from July, from August onwards. And the people are going to be looking for something during the pause. And I would have, hopefully, Volume 5 even ready by the later half of the year next year, bro. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. This is what it means to be yourself. Right? People can say I'm yelling, I'm hating, I'm whatnot. No, this is passion. This is excitement. This is testosterone. Maybe some of y'all don't have that, you know. Too much soy, too much dairy, too many milk and cookies. But you see, there's nothing more liberating than being yourself. If you want to cut your legs off to accommodate mentally ill people, you are scum of the earth and you don't deserve the oxygen that is in your lungs right now. You don't deserve it. Why would you cut off your own legs to appease broke mother suckers? Why would you do that? I don't want to hear it. Nobody's qualified to tell me what to do. I am qualified to tell you what to do. Because it's worked for me. Try it. Try it for yourself. See what's going to happen, right? When people deviate from the caffeine, all kinds of bullshit happens. All kinds, right? I don't want to hear it, bro. All you niggas in the hood hating on me, bro, hate on me when you've bought like 3 iPhones, right? Buy 3 iPhones and then hate on me, right? Maybe you'll be qualified then, right? So, oh man, it's just an iPhone. I'm talking about niggas in the hood right here, right? Niggas in the hood right here. And I don't care where you are in the world, actually. At the end of the day, I'm doing far better than a lot of these so-called indie people because they are specifically catering to vegetables, mentally ill mother suckers who don't know what the hell they doing. Everything has to be intentional, people. It's got to be intentional. Like the high school dream of being on the shelf was achieved this year. Hooray. But it's just the beginning. It doesn't really matter. The most sales, the most profit is through digital sales, right? It's through digital sales for me. If you want to go through the establishment and receive a 15% royalty for a digital sale, go for it. Go for it, struggle, and then you won't blow your brains out, as the Japanese lady did. For the physical book, you want to get 10%, blow your brains out. Then they want to take your product, turn it into a movie, and not help you at all. This is what you're choosing to do? It's nuts, man. It's nuts. Let every hater continue to hate as I continue to rise. You're not going to stop me. You're not going to stop the people I'm working with, right? And one last time, to all the backstabbers, the betrayers, I'm not going to open the door for you, bro. You just had to stab me in the back. You just had to go behind my back. I have been very courteous to everybody that I've interacted with at a personal level. You know, when we talk privately, I'm not chewing your head out and whatnot. So I was very confused that some people are still treating me as if I'm a monster. So, but dude, we spoke though. We spoke, man. You told me some stuff, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand, man. You know, it is like this, like that. I thought we cool, but then some mother suckers decide that, nah, screw this nigga, you know. Why, bro? Why, man? But you know what? I don't care. I don't care. Because if anyone thought that I'm going to knock at their door, well, aren't you mistaken? People will knock at my door. And all the people who want to die in a dungeon like Viz Media, you are free to do so. If Inupen knocks at my door, say coffee, you are right. Let me fix this, man. Let me remaster Cave King, and then let me get Volume 3 done as well. Just open the door, because I see the vision now. I see what you meant. Will I open the door for Inupen? Well, only if you can be real. We've never had any direct conflict with Inupen, right? We had a little bit of a standoff, but nothing major, you know. All I want is for you to just finish your work, man. For you to just write the story that you want to tell, that actually means something. The story that only you can tell. you have you have Kodansha quoting things I've said years ago. Kodansha Academy, they saying things I've been saying, and it's like, is there a spy watching my stuff? Definitely, right? Your reliance on the establishment and their established social status is shooting you in the sack, and it's really burning you out. So I will be the one that gives opportunity now, right? But guess what? Fortune favors the prepared. See, it's so simple, man. It's so simple. This thing is not hard. If I never got screwed over earlier this year by that moron who wanted me to draw his manga and then he ran off and wasted my time, I would be talking about volume 4 right now. Like, volume 4 would be done right now. But I'm 2 months behind. It's fine, I'll get it done. But I'm not gonna have a setback like that ever again. And neither should you. Neither should you. You see the rapid pace of everything crumbling right now. The world is so uncertain at this point. And what are you doing, bro? Just sitting and hoping, waiting. I hope the Lord nothing. Did Moses wait to be transported with the Israelites to the promised land? No. Did Noah wait for the ark to fall out the sky, or he built it? Build the ark. But what? But what? You can't have some nigga in Africa telling you this. Right now, I should be a statistic right now. I should be an alcoholic, beating the asses of everybody in the house. That's what I should be doing. If I ain't at the job, I'm at the liquor store. And I'm at home right after drinking a whole bottle of liquor, whooping everybody's ass. That's what I should be doing right now. I should be diabetic right now. I should be. Right? See, when I was born with all kinds of problems. You wanna know why? Because grandma, even as a little kid, tried to kill a nigga. Poison the nigga and all that, right? I even have the photo when I was a little baby, grandma playing with baby coffee. Little did I know that was then that she put the poison. I spent most of my time before I was age 5 in the hospital, right? I lived in the hospital. I remember seeing multiple doctors vividly, always looking down at me as I was in that, hospital crib, getting multiple injections. On my right arm, I have so many needle injections, it's crazy. They didn't know what was wrong with me. My parents didn't know granny poisoned a nigga using some witch doctor stuff or some herb or whatever, right? Just problems. Going deaf, and then that was sorted out. Had to put ear whatevers, all kinds of problems. And luckily, a dude had a parent that was very concerned. And I learned how to be concerned and how to be cautious and how to have a detailed eye, because my mother had a detailed eye. I know I'm saying that wrong, or an eye for detail, something like that, right? So, if a dude is gonna survive all of that, I'm like, hey, maybe you should capitalize on what you got. Capitalize on what you got. For years, I felt guilty for being rather more privileged than my cousins in the early days, right? Indeed, it's very much so privileged. The money was rolling in for the family and whatnot. COVID happened, eviscerated everything. Everything got eviscerated, right? And then when the cousins got their money, they couldn't even buy me a cheeseburger, right? Ultimately, though, I was like, it was then that I learned that, look, if you thought that the family would have all kinds of money in the bank forever. Now you know that that's not the case. There are ups and downs, and the moment to seize an opportunity will always be in that present time. Too many of you are relying on that disability check, that SNAP benefit, that food bank, that 350 from the ANC government, from grandma's social grants. Some niggas here steal their grandmother's social grant credit card, bro. One woman killed her grandmother, buried her in the backyard to keep collecting the social grant money, bro. And then the church was asking questions. We haven't seen Granny Mazibugo for a while. Where is she? Oh, you're right. It's been weeks. It's not like her. Yeah, let's go by to the house, see if she's okay. Go to the house, knock at the door. The granddaughter opens the door. Hey, granddaughter, how you doing? Where's Granny? I don't know. I think she went out. Nah, she hasn't been in church for a long time. Where's your grandmother, huh? I don't know. Where's your grandma? I don't know. Next thing you know, call the cops. Start digging in the yard. They found Granny over there. She was strangled. That is an example of somebody who capitalized in the wrong way by killing their grandmother. That's obviously not sustainable now, is it? All because people don't want to think outside the box. Think outside the box, bro. Think outside the box. Stop trying to move from one box to the other. Okay, Viz didn't work out, let me go to Global Comics. Okay, Global Comics didn't work out, let me go to Shrine Comics. Speaking of Shrine, let's see what they got doing over here. What is Shrine Comics doing right now? Oh, look, them too. Now, they make a big, flashy return and spend who knows how much money filming this thing with the smoke and the lights, the gimmicks, basically. And that's it. Nothing. And people gonna call me a hater. I'm not a hater. You are a hater. You hating on my rise. You hating on my hustle. You hating on my grind. And you have absolutely no reason to. Trying to make me as worthless as some of you hunchbacks are. Nigga, please. I am the apex up in this right now. Nobody telling me what to do. I'm at the top of the food chain right now. I don't give one crap what you think, that white manga this, Diddy Mark that. Both those people are in dungeons. Both those people are not legitimate. They're not. They're frauds. They're not themselves. And that's the worst part. If you're gonna quote unquote succeed by being something you're not, you did not succeed. You didn't. I have succeeded within the circumstance for being who I really am. My authentic self, hated by most, but appreciated by others. And those who do appreciate support. And that support is enough to create a bigger return of investment. I capitalize on the small support to build something bigger, to build an infrastructure that all of us can benefit from. But mother suckers can't see that. They only hear that this guy is rough, this guy is mean and whatnot. No, bro, you're just a bitch ass. Look at Shrine Comics right here. Look at these gooey bears. Hey guys, yay, ooh, wah, hoo hoo, la la, la lulu, lulu. Cutting their legs off. What is the return of investment? Absence. Being forgotten. Inconsistencies. Because they are constantly fighting to maintain a mask that is forever crumbling. That's a lot of wasted energy. Calling me a hater, bro. Can't call me anything. You can't call me anything until you finish your work and you have some sales and so on. I mean, this part where they show Inu Pen's thingy at the bookstore, I'm like, that is just robbery, bro. That is just robbery. It's not because of Shrine Comics that Inu was there. It's because Inu did it himself. But he doesn't want to capitalize on the little success that he got over there. It's like, dude, come on. Come on, man. But you know what, guys? The question on this live stream was, is Torishima wasting his time? And I said yes, because people are retarded. Am I wasting my time? Torishima is a millionaire. So he doesn't need to do anything at all. Some of us are not millionaires. And I sure as heck don't feel like I'm wasting my time. I'm not trying to change minds anymore. If your mind is jacked, your mind is jacked for life. There's nothing that's going to change it. For those who don't have a jacked mind, you see the vision. You see the growth. And you want to invest in it. Because you see the opportunity. You want to get behind it. Because you see the opportunity. Then your mind is operating very well. I'm not wasting my time. Because I'm trying to build something. And it is being built. It is being built as we speak. And it will come in February. And nobody is going to get in my way. Nobody is going to stop me. Nobody's going to tell me how to conduct my business when they don't have one book, one sale, or anything whatsoever close to that. You're not going to tell me that. No one will tell me that, right? People can do whatever they want, but has it been working for you? If the answer is no, then I guess it's not really working, huh? Right? But hey, we're done trying to convince people now. I'm done trying to convince people. I'm just moving forward. And you can see the trail left behind, if it's destructive or constructive or whatever, right? You can decide there that, you know what, this is something cool or it's not. If it's not, get the hell up and out of here and stop lurking. It's really not that tough, you know. But yeah, man. I think that's it for now. I wanted Pierce to jump in, but I don't think he has electricity today. I don't think he has electricity today. Oh well. Until next time. Oh, it's Christmas on Thursday. Can't believe I almost forgot. For Christmas to me is just a normal day. It's no big deal. Anyway, people, just finish your work, right? Don't wait for no hocus pocus, whatever, to just magically appear out of nowhere. Finish your work, and you should be all right. It always starts with just finishing your work. Start there, and the rest is history. That's all there is to it.